A career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Little Falls Lumber has everything you need for home improvement season. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors. Available in 12-foot lengths and affordable solutions for sheds, garages, and roof repairs. Tired of digging through warped boards at the big box stores? At Little Falls Lumber, you'll find only premium grade lumber, hand-selected for quality. They also carry roofing, siding, windows, doors, and much more. Visit Little Falls Lumber in Little Falls in Syracuse. Call 315-823-2470 or go to littlefallslumber.com.
Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers is a simple, anonymous way to keep our neighborhood safe by reporting crimes anonymously. Cash incentives are available if the tip leads to an arrest. If you see something, say it here. MohawkValleyCrimeStoppers.com or phone in tips at 866-730-TIPS. And registration is now open for the 6th annual Crime Stoppers Golf Outing, Saturday, September 19th at the Shamrock Golf Course in Oriskany. Call Anna for registration forms at 315-269-3924.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Shenanigans are entering the courtroom. I'm Doug Llewellyn. This is the People's Court with your host, Jeremy Rosenthal. Hello, Jeremy Rosenthal, and welcome to the People's Court.
Good morning. Good morning. Fun fact, my mother and father actually appeared.
Wow. That's awesome.
Is that what inspired you?
Actually, I mean, yes and no. Everything with my parents was a nuclear war, so that kind of gave me a sense of
so you mean
to litigate.
They were on one side or the other, and the other?
No. They were on the same
unified.
side. Yeah,
okay.
They were sued.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. What was the scenario? What were they suing over or being sued over?
They sued a landscaper who I think kind of bolted. That's what it was about. Yep. Right. And Judge Wapner was there. It took a lot longer, actually, than 30 minutes. That's what I took from it.
I should add on the local landscape contractor. When it ended with we just had a situation, Jeremy. When it ended with my wife last night, he's like, you know what? I've been working for 12 hours. I don't need this. The work I've already done up to this point, I'm not going to charge you for it.
This is the owner or a worker?
This is the owner, which was $500. It was a big job, and so forget about that. Everything's canceled, and my wife is like, wonderful. Good night, and that's how it ended.
Wow.
So So we had our own little people's court in our own home last night, and you'll never guess who I played. Doug Llewellyn. That was me.
Rusty the bailiff. No?
Believe me, I wish. Rusty was tough. He was good. I liked Rusty.
Yeah. You didn't cross Rusty. No.
All right, go ahead.
I was just going to, real quick, it was not the People's Court, but, since the People's Court, and it was so famous, and it wasn't Judge Judy, but it was one of these that had popped up, a television show where you would go in and the two sides, and they'd settle it with the judge. I just saw an interview, and I don't know if this is true, but the guy was claiming... He goes, if you'd watched the show before and I looked familiar, he goes, me and my buddies were actually on there several times and they didn't pick up on it. He goes, because when you would appear on the show, they would take your complaint as legit, but either way, they would pay you for your appearance. Yeah. He goes, so we would concoct scenarios. One guy would be a DJ and we would say we hired him for the graduation party and he promised this and this didn't happen. So they would come up with different scenarios to create a dispute one friend would take one side, the other guy takes the other side, and they both walk away in the positive.
Well, because whatever settlement that was awarded,
they would disagree but they got the
show
cash.
paid for it. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's next. You know what? Those are next level BS artists.
Oh yeah.
You got to take their hat off to those guys.
Yep. Kudos all the way. Okay. Before we get into Fauci, which I do want to get into, I did want to ask you, did you see the Tony Romo video?
I did.
Oh, did you feel for him? I felt like, what are you doing, man? This is so terrible. And I hate him, just for the record, as a Bills fan. So, but you're down there. You're there. You're in Texas.
Yeah. You know, I like Tony Romo. I think he's a good guy. You know, you're always hoping that some more evidence comes to light that kind of limits his, culpability. From a lawyer standpoint, he's nice, he's polite, he does everything you would want a client to do in this scenario, other than maybe be drunk.
Yeah.
So yeah, and look, I mean, the lawyer in me is a little offended that they released the video. I don't get DWI videos a week after they happen.
Right.
So I think that's probably the police agency. I don't know if they're trying to embarrass him, but they're certainly trying to justify what they did and really at Tony Romo's expense. And
let's be honest, you don't think the Packers like the Cowboys, do you? So I feel like the fact that this happened in Wisconsin, had it happened in Texas, we might not even know about it.
Tony, give me an autograph. I'll give you a ride home.
Well, yeah, he's from there. Though, so that's
right.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's from his whole, even his college career, I think, was played there. So no, it was not. Where was it?
Eastern Illinois.
Eastern Illinois.
Well, all in that region, basically.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to ask. This is Steve Cully, best podcast host in the universe. The difference between.
Well, what are you asking? Is it about Romo? Yes. All right, very quickly, because we're moving on to another topic.
There's been a lot talked about Tony Romo and his contract with CBS. Does he have a threat of being released or terminated with CBS because of this incident?
Probably. I haven't read much about that, but most of the vast majority of these contracts have
the morals
morals clause on there. I mean, if there was evidence that Tony Romo was on Epstein Island, they're not keeping him.
Right.
So yeah, and maybe they're, I think probably they're going to want to look into this, maybe save face a little bit and say, okay, well, Tony had a problem with alcohol and he's addressed that, and
he's gone to therapy, blah blah. And by the way, CBS will not be able to resist the high ratings they get. And you watch, he's not coming back on a 1:00 Sunday afternoon game. You're going to see him on Sunday night, and it's going to be the return, and he's going to make a statement, and it'll be big ratings. People will watch it.
The other thing...
There you go. See, you've got it figured out.
I do. It's all in my head. I've got it right here.
The other thing, Jeremy, just real quick on this, I know we're moving on. The idea that if he just says, I have a problem, I think creates a separate issue, at least as far as his reputation goes. Because, if he was out having a good time, or if he was at a golf tournament, wherever the case might be... I was in a golf tournament recently. Matter of fact, Davey and I had a couple beers while I was there. The issue is you can't, if he says I have a problem and I'm going to get treatment, that means he can't socially drink anymore. Because if anybody sees him with a drink, a champagne or whatever, after that, they go, what's the problem here? The issue is drinking and driving. He has to be careful not to say.
I wonder if he says, instead of a problem, I made a very terrible mistake.
Yeah, okay.
Jeremy?
That's fair.
Yeah, so that's a great point. Okay, so one of the headwinds that I face as a lawyer who represents people who get DWIs is that judges and prosecutors go to conferences, and at those conferences they say statistics such as, if you get arrested for DWI, you've gotten away with it 111 times before, and so therefore everybody who gets a DWI is an alcoholic, which I know is not true because I've had people who've gotten DWIs on their 18th birthday, which this was my first time, Jeremy, and I couldn't handle it. Okay, well, you didn't do, so that's the problem, is that whether Tony Romo is an alcoholic or he is perceived as an alcoholic, the issue is alcoholism, not just a one-time mistake. And I'll tell you this, a DWI is not just a couple of drinks, okay?
Right.
To get to a 0.08 for a 180-pound male is roughly 4 beers in an hour or less, okay? Because your blood alcohol level goes up with every beer that you have or every standard drink that you have, and it comes down after the passage of time. So the idea that 2 beers is going to get you there is simply erroneous.
Yeah.
He
drank all day long.
Yeah, that's right. So if you're over the limit, you've been at it for a while.
Yeah. And I also wonder, at what point do we get to, like, if you're a drug addict, they say, well, he was under the influence of drugs. We're going to consider that. It's a disease. It is. But alcohol we treat differently. It's like, you should have known better in the beginning. Yeah, but I had a couple of drinks. The third one, the fourth one. After that, I wasn't thinking straight. So I would never do something like this had I not been under the influence of heroin. I mean, what's the difference between that and alcohol? And will we ever make that leap where it's looked at differently?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. I will say this. If it wasn't for people there will always be people who you have to fight to get their keys away from them.
Yeah.
And thank God for that, because I got a mortgage to pay.
Yeah, that's great. At the end of the day, have a plan, because if you have too many drinks, you will not be able to come up with a good plan.
Just that, the only point I was going to add is that, again, with heroin, that's a deadly controlled substance. Alcohol is legal. You can socially do it. You know what I mean? So it's like, the mistake he made, or the thing that he did wrong, wasn't that he went out and had a good time or got plastered or that he had that glow on his face.
Yeah.
It's that he did that and then got behind the wheel.
All right, we have taken up all of your time on this, but I really want to talk about Fauci and your take on the fact that he basically used his constitutional right to not say anything, and I necessarily personally don't blame him, because this Justice Department is out for blood.
Well, yeah, and Rand Paul already said, I'm going to investigate you for perjury based on everything you've ever said before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what was your first clue that they were out to get you, right?
Right.
So, yeah, I look, we're going to see a lot of flash, a lot of bang. The subcommittee will probably hold him in contempt. The full Senate may very well hold in contempt unless somebody like John Cornyn flips or something like that. The Justice Department would have to pick it up. But ultimately, at the end of the case, that's the problem, that if you're prosecuting him, that's the problem that you have, is the man was invoking a constitutional right. And whether you like it, whether you don't like it, whether you think it's thin, whether you think that it's not, I have a hard time thinking that you're in contempt by invoking a constitutional right.
Yeah.
He was pardoned, so there was some question as to, look, you've already been pardoned. You can't, I think the quote was, you can't stand on this right now because you've already been pardoned for this. What's your take on that?
True. However, while he would have immunity, if he said something to the effect of, my last year before I got my pardon, I knifed a guy in the parking lot, right? In a federal facility, because it would have to be federal. If he said something like that, he would be immune from that action. He would not be immune, potentially, from perjury. And I think that's what he and his lawyers would tell you, are, that look, I mean, it's not that I'm afraid of something I did before. I'm afraid that you're going to prosecute me for perjury, anything that comes out of my mouth. Because you don't have to be innocent. You have to be guilty to be prosecuted, right? So Go ahead.
Here's the thing that I hate about this, and it's Democrats and Republicans. The goal is not to get to the bottom of where this actually came from. And we'll never probably know. We'll never probably know because China is not going to release the information we would need to know. So the goal is to score political points on both sides in these congressional hearings. If they really wanted to get to the bottom of at least what he knew, they'd say, come in and testify with immunity.
Yep. But we want all the true answers.
Yep, we want true answers, but that's not what Congress is looking for. They're, especially in the case right now, Republicans are facing an uphill climb in the midterms, and they're trying to score points.
Yes. And to your point, to stand up for Rand Paul here for a second, I don't think Congress has the ability to give him immunity either. For what he says now. But yes, you're exactly right. This is look, if I was going to release a deadly virus to our biggest international enemy, I would hope that what they would do is not come after me and instead use it to go after each other. That would be okay with me.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a good point.
Till the last one drops.
Jeremy, one more on the contempt of Congress. Like I've heard, if someone's held in contempt of court, it's 30 days in the county jail or something like that. What does contempt of Congress actually mean?
It's a federal offense, and you can go to federal prison for it. Steve Bannon went to federal prison before he was pardoned by Trump on it. So to kind of to draw a contrast, there was a lot of debate about whether the Clintons were going to be held in contempt of Congress because they were subpoenaed, and they made a decision not to come and testify. They ultimately made a deal with the committee, and so they showed up and answered questions. But that's the difference, right? Not showing up versus showing up and sitting there and politely invoking your constitutional right. I think that's a pretty stark contrast, right? But yeah, it's contempt is when you tell the judge to go somewhere, to strip something where son can't really get to. That's contempt. So again, there's going to be a lot of flash, a lot of bang. Legally, it'll be interesting to me. My lawyer nerd kind of thinks it'll be interesting. But ultimately, I'd be really, really shocked if this actually got enough traction to actually make it, part way through the courts.
At the end of the day, too, a lot of people have used the fifth on the right and on the left. That'll make it even more difficult. So, yeah. All right, there we go, Jeremy. We appreciate it and have what I love, though, is we're sitting here arguing over COVID when we could be arguing over the war. We could be arguing over affordability.
Epstein.
Made up by Democrats, by the way. We could be arguing over Epstein, but no, we're fighting a fight that's going nowhere over COVID. Are you kidding me? I mean,
do the Cowboys have the Bills this year? I haven't looked.
I'm checking.
We haven't played you guys in a minute, so
Davey says no. Davey says no.
No, but it could happen. And what I would like to see, yes,
in the Super Bowl.
Oh yes, I'd like to see a little revenge for that game when Mike Jackson came out and in California and did the halftime show, and the Bills got pummeled. We need revenge.
Yeah. I thought you wanted revenge for when Brett Hull's skate was in the crease. That too.
It never ends. It's stuck. If you're a Bills fan, going to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row and losing all 4 of them, it'll never leave you. Jeremy, as always, we appreciate it. Have a great week, and we'll do it again soon.
See you. Bye-bye.
All right. Doug Llewellyn comes back in.
This is an America 250 Minute brought to you by Oneida County America 250 Commission. I'm Leslie Rainey, Regent of Oneida Chapter Daughters of the American Revolution.
And I'm Alexis Albright, historian for Oneida County and the village of Oriskany.
On the night of August 10th, 1777, Fort Stanwix was still surrounded by Loyalist forces. The Tryon County militia had forged their way back to Fort Dayton and Little Falls, where General Herkimer lay wounded. The soldiers inside Fort Stanwix were still trapped. It was decided that Lieutenant Colonel Marinus Willett would leave for help. Minimally armed and provisioned, he and Lieutenant Stockwell snuck out of the fort under the cover of a rainstorm into the swampy woods headed for Albany. Willett left quietly and without fanfare. In a farewell letter for his soldiers, he wrote, "I assure that not a step that is possible for me to take for your speedy deliverance shall be omitted, nor am I without the most sanguine hopes that I shall soon return, enjoy the pleasant sight of seeing you again on this parade, and gloriously congratulating you on your glorious deliverance from your present enemies, and in assisting you to divide their spoils among you." He continued, "In the meantime, I beseech you by all the love and regard you have for me to persevere in your duty like good soldiers. Don't be afraid of your enemies." Marinus Willett, August 10th, 1777.
And we want you to love the history where you live.
Did you know your most treasured rugs can look new again? At ABC Chem Dry, we specialize in premium area rug cleaning. From treasured family heirlooms to fine rugs from around the world, our trained specialists use a careful 5-step process inspecting, dusting, cleaning, drying, grooming, and protecting, so your rug always gets the expert care it deserves. Don't wait. Call ABC Chem Dry today at 315-738-1111 to schedule a drop-off or pickup.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton. When you've worked hard to build something meaningful, protecting it should be part of your plan. At Hilton Estate and Elder Law, we help families navigate the complexities that come with significant assets, especially estate taxes and long-term care considerations. We break down the implications, explore smart strategies, and help reduce future tax exposure and nursing home costs. Because no two families are alike, every plan is tailored to fit your situation.
Hilton, you know the name, they know the law. Hilton Estate and Elder Law.
Not a great severe weather risk, but we will mention that chance of stronger storms, maybe severe storms, as we get into this afternoon. Probably really going to stay south of us, out across the southern tier and down into central Pennsylvania. But still, clouds will thicken up, a passing shower this morning. This afternoon, a few showers, thunder showers through this evening. 85. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms early, 65. Probably dipping to the 50s in the Adirondacks. Then we're set up for some great weather Tuesday and Wednesday. Partial sun Tuesday, 80. Sunshine Wednesday, 82. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stitchick, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy skies and 59 degrees at 6:34. Todd Blanche will be the next Attorney General. The Senate confirmed the acting AG after weeks of debate with a handful of Republicans in opposition. Early Saturday morning, the Senate voted 50-49 to approve Blanche, with Republican Senators Susan Collins of Maine and Lisa Murkowski of Alaska joining Democrats in opposition. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is formally saying no to President Trump's Gaza Board of Peace plan. Netanyahu making the announcement earlier today that Hamas must fully demilitarize before any withdrawal of his military can occur. The Palestinian militants have conditionally agreed to the plan, but say Israel continues to sabotage efforts to stop the war. Michigan's Democratic nominee for U.S. Senate is hopeful to get a campaign boost from former President Obama. During an appearance on NBC's Meet the Press, Abdul El-Sayed said he spoke with Obama following his primary victory last week, calling their conversation really warm and inspiring. El-Sayed will face Republican former Congressman Mike Rogers in November. Thousands of Spokane, Washington residents coming back home finally after evacuating from massive wildfires that burned entire neighborhoods. Some 65,000 people were forced to leave as the emergency unfolded. The fires burned more than 10,000 acres and destroyed or heavily damaged more than 900 structures, most of them homes. A boat captain is under arrest after a woman and a 5-month-old baby died on his vessel, which capsized Saturday near Liberty Island in New York Harbor. The FDNY says 14 people were on the 22-foot motorboat when it capsized. A dozen were rescued. Divers say they ended up finding the woman and baby deceased in the water. And the Powerball jackpot is more than $900 million now. There was no grand prize winner in Saturday night's drawing, so tonight stands at least $905 million. Right now, cloudy skies, 58 degrees. It is a Monday morning on WIBX.
Hurt in a car, call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you feel embarrassed, trapped, maybe even ashamed just because you own a timeshare? Well, I'm here to tell you you're not alone. Chuck McDowell here, the timeshare cancellation guy. I get over 3,000 complaints a week from all kinds of folks that feel the same way you do. Honest people, teachers, veterans, grandparents, all losing sleep over a timeshare they can't get rid of. That's why 15 years ago, I founded Wesley Financial Group to help people take their lives back. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we would want our own family to be treated. That mindset has helped us cancel over 50,000 timeshares from people just like you. So if you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-497-9090. That's 800-497-9090. 800-497-9090.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She can get a deal. Book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Utica and the Mohawk Valley, the summer sale is on. This is the big one at upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express. Listen to this. This is a great deal, folks. On select beds, get a king for the price of a queen for the price of a full, and a full for the price of a twin. Save. If that weren't enough, pick out any king or queen set in the store, buy one, and get upgraded to an adjustable base for free. You heard me right. Take up to 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers, and no credit check payment plans every day. A massage chair? On select massage chairs, get a $500 prepaid Visa card. In New Hartford on Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies Plus. Oneida and the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theaters. In Rome on Black River Boulevard in the Black River Plaza. Go to mattressexpressny.com. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Joining us now on the phone is New York State Attorney General candidate Saritha Komatureddy. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Good morning, Saritha. How are you?
Good morning. How are you? You pronounce it great. Thank you.
Tell us about your candidacy. For those who don't know about you, your background, your experience, and why you're running for Attorney General in New York.
Well, I love being on the show. I was just in Utica recently for the July 4th parade, and I had a chance to meet a number of people, and I'm glad I get to talk to more here. My story is very simple. I was born in New York. I came here, my parents came here in the 1980s from India. We're an immigrant family, and we came for a better life. And of course, I was taught to work hard, get an education, and give back. And so that is what I have done. I went to Harvard College. I went to Harvard Law School. And then I came back a few years later and became a federal prosecutor in New York. And my focus was terrorism. So I prosecuted terrorists in Al-Qaeda and ISIS and the Mexican drug cartels. I became chief of staff of the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration, and I was nominated to be a federal judge. I love public service. I focus on public safety, and I left all of that last fall to run for Attorney General because public safety has totally deteriorated here in New York. I thought to myself, I have a family. I have 4 kids. We live in New York City. And, there's no point in me prosecuting international terrorists and drug cartel leaders and cyber criminals and going around the world doing that if right here at home I can't keep my family safe. So I decided, you know what? We need a real prosecutor, a law enforcement professional as Attorney General to reduce crime and homelessness and fraud in New York so that we can make New York safer and less expensive. And that's what I'm going to do.
Let's talk about one of the things that has to do with keeping the streets safe, and that's bail reform. What do you see when you look at how New York has changed the laws and I guess the way they handle those who are accused of some serious crimes?
We have a catch and release system here in New York, and every single county is feeling effects of that. I know I've been traveling around the state, and people tell me about it all the time. Just last week, we saw someone with 8 priors stab 2 people in the street randomly. A week before that, someone with 14 priors pushed someone, punched someone, gave them a concussion. I mean, the reality, even before that, someone with several priors, someone who had previously been arrested for waving an axe around and threatening to cut someone's head off. He was arrested. He was released the same day. And then a couple of days later, he went around through Molotov cocktails at churches and businesses. So the reality is our bail laws allow criminals and terrorists back on our streets to victimize innocent New Yorkers, and it's happening every day in New York. The good news is it's fixable. Letitia James, our current Attorney General, won't fix it because she supports the bail laws just as they are, and she always has. But I have a way forward, and it's simple. You've got to let judges have discretion in every case and allow them to consider dangerousness of an individual. We are the only state that doesn't allow that. It doesn't make sense. You make that one fix, and we're going to have a way forward in New York.
Yeah, that's something I believe judges used to be able to do prior to the law change. But let me ask you, as Attorney General, isn't that something that would have to be passed by the legislature and signed by the governor? Or you seem to indicate you would have the discretion to enact that policy or overturn that type of policy here in the state?
Well, the problem with repeat offenders right now is coming from 2 places. One is how we charge cases, and that's a prosecutor's decision. And 2 is the laws as they're written. Part of the problem is we have prosecutors in our state, not everyone, but we have some who decide to knock down charges. They don't charge cases to the fullest extent of the law. So instead of something being an assault 2, it's knocked down to assault 3. Well, what happens? That goes from a felony to a misdemeanor, and that means that guy is automatically getting out under the bail laws. So the first thing the Attorney General can do on her own is make sure we actually prosecute crime, and come in when a DA has refused to prosecute crime, come in and do it. The second thing is, you need to change the actual law, and you need a law enforcement leader to light the path for that, to actually advocate for it and show the legislature the way forward. Tish James won't do that, hasn't done it for 7 years, and I will.
Can we talk a bit about Letitia James and the legal battles she faced? Ultimately, the charges were dismissed. I believe at issue was that Trump's personal lawyer was going to be prosecuting the case, and the judge essentially, I believe, if I remember correctly, dismissed the case. She doesn't appear to be out in front of the cameras as much as she was before. What did you see in the whole fiasco over she herself facing charges over the mortgages in Virginia, et cetera, and she seems to be taking a back seat as far as at least avoiding the limelight compared to where she was when Trump was running for office previously?
Well, what I see is a total distraction. You have someone who is caught up in personal vendettas and grudges and federal court on her own issues, and she's using taxpayer time and money to do it. Remember, Albany set aside $10 million for her to pay her own personal legal bills. So instead of taking care of New York, focusing on keeping New York safe and making it less expensive, we have an Attorney General who's distracted by her own personal issues, and that's a problem. I'm running because, this is really not about her. This is about New Yorkers. This is about making sure New Yorkers feel safe when they take the kids to school, when they go to work, when they take the train or the bus. And the reality is, you ask New Yorkers today, do you feel safer now than you did 5 years ago? And they're going to say no.
It is a big challenge to get New York State as a whole to vote Republican, and certainly part of that involves the mass population that is downstate. What do you see difference-wise upstate versus downstate, and do you think you can change enough minds in the New York City area to be elected?
Absolutely. We're going to win the city, and I'll tell you why. We are seeing a dynamic in the city that we haven't seen in recent memory, which is it's way more dangerous than it used to be, and people are tired of it. People see it. It's hurting their sense of safety. It's also hurting their pocketbook because, things like car thefts have tripled in New York City. They've tripled in Western New York. They've doubled across the state. That drives up our car insurance. We all know that Medicaid fraudsters are getting away with fraud. It drives up our health care costs. We see mentally ill and drug-addicted individuals out on our streets. It's happening across the state. And we're using property taxes. We're paying property taxes to put those people into hotels. So everyone is paying the cost of crime. We're all paying a crime tax, and people know it. And people are tired of it, and that's upstate and downstate. I've traveled almost through all the 62 counties now, and I hear those same stories everywhere. So we're going to win. And let me tell you a couple numbers that might be helpful. There was a poll that was released this spring where Siena asked voters, would you reelect Tish James or would you prefer someone else? And only 43% of people said they'd reelect Tish James. That means most people want to change. And they just need to know who I am, that I'm a prosecutor, I have a record of keeping people safe, and that's what I'm going to do. It's not a partisan issue. It's not about Republican versus Democrat. It's about having a law enforcement professional as Attorney General instead of a politician.
And before we let you go, I was just on your website. I saw a story here, New York State, or is it New York City? New York City spends almost $82,000 per homeless person amid shelter scandals. What is that story, and what's your take on it?
It's New York State, and this is Tom DiNapoli's report that came out earlier this year. Spends $81,700 per homeless person in New York. Where is that money going? You could give a guy $81,000 and he wouldn't be homeless tomorrow. We have a ton of red flags in the homeless shelter industry in New York. And it's not just me saying that. We've had state comptrollers, city comptrollers, department investigations, Department of Health, all saying, listen, there's a homeless shelter CEO making $1 million. There's allegations of sexual abuse. There's allegations of corruption. There's a federal indictment about kickbacks. What is going on? Somebody needs to take a look. You know who's supposed to take a look? Attorney General. But she doesn't do it. I will make sure that our taxpayer dollars that are intended to help the needy actually help them, not go to line the pockets of nonprofit CEOs who aren't actually doing the work we're paying them to do.
Saritha Komatureddy is a Republican Attorney General candidate in the state of New York. Saritha, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Happy to come anytime.
The website, SarithaforNewYork.com. We'd love to have you back again. I think the vast majority of our audience loves what you're saying and agrees with you, but it is an uphill battle to be running as a Republican in the state of New York.
I would just remind you, sir, that you remember 4 years ago when there were only 22% of the state was registered Republican, the Republican AG candidate got 45% of the vote. It's only another 5 points. That's what we're starting from. And the reality is people are more upset now than they were 4 years ago. We're going to get over that hump.
Saritha Komatureddy, thank you for your time. And she is your Republican candidate for AG in New York.
We're your neighbors, friends, and your family. We care about our community, your business, and most important, you.
We support charities like the United Way, McMahon Ryan Child Advocacy Center. We're the members of IBEW Local 43 and NECA Contractors. You don't just see our work, you live it. From the JMA Wireless Dome, hospitals, schools, and city buildings, the IBEW is part of the community.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
Little Falls Lumber has everything you need for home improvement season. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors, available in 12-foot lengths and affordable solutions for sheds, garages, and roof repairs. Tired of digging through warped boards at the big box stores? At Little Falls Lumber, you'll find only premium grade lumber, hand-selected for quality. They also carry roofing, siding, windows, doors, and much more. Visit Little Falls Lumber in Little Falls in Syracuse. Call 315-823-2470 or go to littlefallslumber.com.
What's your design inspiration? A picture on the wall? A photo from a magazine? A board you've made on Pinterest? Hi, this is Kira Meelan from Meelan's Carpet One. It's amazing what some of our customers bring to us for inspiration, and we love working side by side with them to help turn their flooring dream into a reality. It's actually one of my favorite parts of the job, helping you to discover your perfect flooring. And there really is so much to discover. Consider the latest flooring trends as you plan your next home project. Many of our customers are surprised by the incredible new choices we have available. For example, today's snap-together waterproof luxury vinyl is incredibly popular. It's durable and it's stunning, with so many styles that replicate hardwood and beautiful stone looks. We have options that inspire, designers who will help bring it all together, and always a beautiful installation. To get the perfect flooring, start with the right flooring store. Visit Meelan's Carpet One on Commercial Drive East in Yorkville.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Tanya J. Power is on the line right now. Senate committee voting on whether to hold Dr. Fauci in contempt of Congress. And that actually went through. What do we know starting off this Friday morning? Tanya, good morning. Oh, I think I had you down, which mutes you. I did a whole intro, Tanya, and said good morning. So here we go.
Good morning. Yeah, I didn't hear you, but good morning.
Yep, sorry about that. Good morning. Okay. So what do we know to start off this Friday on this one?
Well, this is, it seems that Senator Rand Paul wants to fast-track the prosecution of Anthony Fauci. He is, of course, the person who headed up the NIH, National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease. He was the director from 1984 to 2022 for a really long time. He's also the person who led the first Trump administration's response to COVID. And he appeared before the Republican-led Senate Homeland Security Committee last week and invoked the Fifth Amendment more than 100 times when he was subpoenaed to testify about his handling of the pandemic. This is kind of, one of those things that Rand Paul has been after for years. He has made no bones about the fact that he wants to see Anthony Fauci behind bars. This has been like a long-running thing. He has pursued for years the line that Fauci orchestrated the cover-up of the origins of COVID-19. So yesterday there was a vote by the Republican-led Homeland Security Committee that is chaired by Senator Rand Paul. They voted to hold him, Dr. Fauci, in contempt of Congress. It was an 8-7 vote along party lines. That accuses him of failing to comply with a congressional subpoena. That is a misdemeanor, a federal misdemeanor that carries a prison sentence of up to 12 months. It also clears the way for the committee to ask the Justice Department to prosecute him. It seems that, like I said, Senator Paul kind of wants to fast track this. Instead of having this go to the full Senate for a vote, he says he's just going to take it straight to the Attorney General. That is a pretty huge difference.
Yeah, I wish the same. First of all, I think this is unless they find that he was colluding or making money off all of this, and I think this is a big nothing. I wish the same effort, Dr. Rand Paul. I wish he put the same effort into protecting the victims of the Epstein files, the Epstein crimes. Unfortunately, there are so many other things we could be focusing on. I don't get it. Why are we focusing on this right now when there are so many things? I mean, you need more than two hands.
Be in his bonnet for a while.
Yeah, I know.
Remember, this was also President Trump also, awarded him with a presidential commendation in 2021, January 19th of 2021, with a whole bunch of other folks who, for their response to Operation Warp Speed, for their work handling the pandemic. It is kind of interesting that this is sort of something that just Rand Paul just absolutely refuses to let go of. Dr. Fauci was actually well regarded by Republicans and Democrats alike until the pandemic, which kind of turned him into a symbol of political stuff and government lockdowns. And
it was the I hate to say it, but it was the crazy things that were coming out of the mouth of the president, and he would stand up and challenge that. And there were some crazy things. I'm sorry, and I just don't, and I get it. There were, they tell you one thing one day, and it was something else the next. This was the first time since, I don't know, 1919 that the world had to deal with something like this in real time and to do it in 2020, whatever it was, 2020. Media is instant. Everything it just changed the world. So when they thought they knew what was going on, it was out in the public. And then 3 days or 3 weeks later, they're changing their mind. So is that a lie or is that a mistake? I think there's a very big difference there, and I don't see it the way Rand Paul sees it personally.
Yeah,
not that that means anything at all in the world. But.
It did change. Like you said, the guidance changed, but that's because they were dealing with a novel, virus, a new thing that, at that point that remember at the beginning, they didn't know how it was spread. They didn't realize, then we learned, well, it's spread through the air. So we had to, 6 feet apart, wear a mask. That's the guidance that they gave us at the time. While everybody was kind of trying to figure out, how do we keep people from dying? Because if you'll recall, the massive amount of people who were dying every day.
Right.
I did daily updates on the pandemic for more than a year, and those numbers were absolutely astonishing. And it was. I think people forget what it was like, and people may not realize what it was like in epicenters like New York City, where I would lay awake at night and listen to sirens from the hospital. Right. Few blocks away from me all night long. Like people,
New York was bad.
Being rushed. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
well, you had
people don't remember what it was like.
You had tractor trailer refrigerator trucks outside the hospitals, holding as a morgue. But I just feel like we, and the other part of this is the entire world went through all of this. The entire world thought this was the right move, and maybe schools shouldn't have been closed. It probably shouldn't have been closed as long as they were. I think there are a lot of things we can learn from it, but I don't think that's what we're trying to do here, is learn from it. But, with Operation Warp Speed, which was President Trump's, the creation of the vaccine, and the way we handled this, I think as a world, I think we did really, really well in terms of outcome. There were a lot of mistakes. Hopefully we can learn from. I wish that's what this was all about. That's just my take. And you know what, Tanya? Nobody cares. So it won't mean anything. However, I'll give you one comment and then see what your thoughts are. This is a lot about the midterms. Mike says Rand Paul knows with the midterms coming up and the potential of the Democrats taking over, this is his last chance to be able to go after Fauci, and he's taking advantage of it. And that's probably correct, I would assume. So
that he's got a very good point there. That's the Trump administration, especially, but Republicans in general, are staring down the barrel of what could potentially be a very upsetting midterms for them, and that means oversight would start in a short period of time. That I don't think that. I think they're trying to, hoping beyond hope that maybe they could avoid that if Republicans can keep control of the House and Senate. He's got a very good point politically. I think he's right.
Tanya, as always, we appreciate it. Have a great weekend in New York City. Thanks. All right.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica. From the WB Tain Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Iran is making new demands. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. To get the Strait of Hormuz fully open again with no more attacks on ships like the U.S. has demanded, Iran's Supreme National Security Council is calling for American forces to leave the region and for compensation for damages caused by U.S. attacks.
With details still being worked out, the U.S. naval blockade remains in effect. U.S. Central Command says as of August 9th, CENTCOM has redirected 55 commercial vessels, disabled 2 and boarded 2 to ensure compliance. And President Trump told Axios on Sunday, "We are low-keying it. We are only semi-negotiating with them." The president went on to say, "We are just watching Iran with its huge inflation and the fact they have no money."
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. Oil prices up about 1% this morning, and more tension now in the region.
Israel is publicly rejecting a U.S.-backed Gaza peace plan. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is vowing there will be no military withdrawal until Hamas fully disarms. He also says a Palestinian state will not be established as long as he's prime minister. The 15-point deal was negotiated by President Trump's International Board of Peace.
Fox's Marianne Rafferty, a boat captain in New York, reportedly in federal custody now, facing reckless endangerment charges after his charter boat capsized in the New York harbor over the weekend near the Statue of Liberty, killing 2 of the 14 people on board, a mother and her 5-month-old baby. Candidates will be out campaigning a final day before primaries in 4 states, and Fox's Alex Hogan reports.
In Wisconsin, Francesca Hong is making a final push before Tuesday's Democratic primary for governor. The Democratic Socialist is backed by the Democratic Socialists of America, and she's faced criticism over social media posts from the past where she called to cancel Thanksgiving, abolish ICE, and abolish prisons. Hong now says those positions do not reflect what she would pursue as governor.
Hong leads in the polls in the governor's race. The winning Democrat will face Republican Congressman Tom Tiffany in November. America's listening to Fox News.
In a recent survey of 123,000 wireless customers, Pure Talk was the only wireless company to receive 5 stars in every category: coverage, support, value, and data. What else do you need to know? Switch to Pure Talk today and get any plan, including their top shelf unlimited data plan, for just $15 a month for your first 3 months. No contract, no commitment. Dial pound 250, say micro, and let Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team help you make the switch.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Bakery owners, you will be loved today. Every pastry will be flaky. Your cake will make a child's day. Your delivery van won't get sideswiped by a distracted garbage truck driver. But if so, breathe easy, knowing you'll get back to business quickly with Progressive protecting your commercial auto. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
While the U.S. has cracked down on drug trafficking off the South American coast with an almost year-long operation, blowing up boats suspected of smuggling drugs, killing alleged narco-terrorists, one of the world's most wanted men who'd been sanctioned by the U.S. is behind bars in Ireland, where he was extradited after being arrested in April in Dubai.
Daniel Kinahan's been described by the Treasury as leading one of the most dangerous cartels in the world. He now stands accused of directing the activities of a criminal organisation. He landed in Dublin, Ireland yesterday evening and was immediately taken to court. Kinahan's activities have been monitored around the world. The UK National Crime Agency says the cartel's been responsible for importing drugs and firearms. Irish investigators believe the group has brought in over $1 billion. It's also been linked to more than a dozen gangland murders. Daniel Kinahan's been under US sanctions since 2022. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed coming off last week's gains that ended with the S&P 500 at a record high. An NBA legend has died, Don Nelson, a former player who's in the Basketball Hall of Fame as a coach.
Nelson won 5 championships as a player with the Celtics. His death was announced by the Golden State Warriors, one of the teams he coached. They did not release details. Nelson is one of 2 coaches in history to have at least 250 wins with 3 different franchises, Milwaukee, Dallas, and Golden State. He also served as GM for all 3 franchises. He was a 3-time Coach of the Year and made the playoffs 18 times in 31 seasons. He went to the conference finals 3 times with the Bucks, once with the Mavericks. He never won a title. Don Nelson, 86. Jay Berman, Fox News.
In baseball, the Tampa Bay Rays, the team with the best record in the American League, won their 6th straight game, beating Seattle 4-1, and Ty Gibbs won the NASCAR Cup Series race in Iowa. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
We have mostly cloudy skies, 61 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:05. This news update brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. A man suspected of killing his parents in the town of Madison was free on bail just days before the murders. That's according to the Madison County Sheriff's Office, which says Justin Sislow had been under investigation for a domestic-related assault against a woman in the town of Moravia in early July. He was arrested and faced felony charges, but had been out on bail, which officials say was posted by his parents. 9 days after he was freed, Sislow was accused of killing his parents before ultimately turning the gun on himself. An investigation continues this morning into a deadly crash in Oneida County. It occurred in Ansville on State Route 69 on Sunday morning. Responding deputies say they found a black F-150 that had left the road. The driver was found inside the vehicle deceased. What led up to the crash is still unclear. So far, authorities have not released the identity of the victim. A local man accused of calling the Oneida County 911 call center 81 times in the course of just over 4 hours. Officials say at least 76 of those calls were non-essential, and a number of them were threatening in nature, with the threats directed toward 911 dispatchers and law enforcement. That same afternoon, the suspect, Lawrence Diptola of Utica, was located at his home and taken into custody without incident. Diptola was subsequently charged with aggravated harassment, which is a Class A misdemeanor, and he was being held in the county jail pending arraignment. And producers across New York State have until tomorrow to apply for protection from federal tariff policy. Governor Kathy Hochul announcing the $30 million program in her State of the State address this year. She says it's meant to help dairy, livestock, specialty crop, and aquaculture producers offset rising costs and market loss caused by the Trump administration's tariff policies. Applications are available on the state website. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time 7:08. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
Not a great severe weather risk, but we will mention that chance of stronger storms, maybe severe storms, as we get into this afternoon. Probably really going to stay south of us, out across the southern tier and down into central Pennsylvania. But still, clouds will thicken up, a passing shower this morning. This afternoon, a few showers, thunder showers through this evening. 85. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms early, 65. Probably dip into the 50s in the Adirondacks. Then we're set up for some great weather Tuesday and Wednesday. Partial sun Tuesday, 80. Sunshine Wednesday, 82. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stitchick, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy skies, 62 degrees at 7:09. All right, from the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk, the Yankees losing extras, and the Mets brought the bats against the Bucks on Sunday as they take 2 out of 3 in the series. We begin with the Yankees. They came up just short in their series finale against the Braves, falling 2-1 in 10 innings in the Bronx yesterday. Trent Grisham went 2 for 4 with a solo home run. The Yankees were looking for their 3rd straight win. They host the Mariners for the start of a 3-game set tomorrow in the Bronx. The Mets beat the Buccos 11-1. Bo Bichette 5 for 5 with 3 RBIs. Luis Robert Jr. also drove in 4 runs. The Mets have won 5 of their last 6. They visit the Braves to start a 3-game series coming up tonight. Newly inducted Pro Football Hall of Famer Roger Craig says he's been diagnosed with vascular dementia. The legendary San Francisco 49ers running back disclosed his diagnosis during his Hall of Fame acceptance speech on Saturday in Canton, Ohio. Craig said doctors believe his condition was caused in part by concussions that he sustained during his 11-year NFL career. The 66-year-old said he hopes sharing his story encourages others to pay attention to brain health and seek help when something does not feel right. Craig played from 1983 to 93 with 3 teams, most notably the 49ers. He was the 2026 Pro Football Hall of Fame class's senior committee selection. NBA great Don Nelson dying at the age of 86. He played in 5 NBA championships with the Boston Celtics and was a 3-time NBA Coach of the Year winner. Nelson is perhaps best remembered for his coaching career, which spanned 30 seasons. He was head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks, the Knicks, the Mavericks, the Warriors. Nelson was also inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame back in 2012. Ty Gibbs takes a close win at the Iowa Corn 350 on Sunday. The driver of the number 54 car held off Christopher Bell by 1/4 of a second to take home the checkered flag at the Iowa Speedway. Exciting finish there, Smitty?
Yeah, it was, because Christopher Bell was trying to catch him down. He was like 0.34 seconds behind, and then Ty Gibbs just had a stronger car. This is like the 6th top 5 for Christopher Bell. This guy has been running good but can't catch a break. Hopefully he'll win in the next couple weeks.
All right. It is a Monday morning. First news, Keeler. Did you have Ty Gibbs, by the way? Monday morning here. First news, Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
The summer sale is on at Mattress Express. Get a king for the price of a queen for the price of a full, and a full for the price of a twin. Ask how to get upgraded to an adjustable base for free. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
Did you know your most treasured rugs can look new again? At ABC Chem Dry, we specialize in premium area rug cleaning. From treasured family heirlooms to fine rugs from around the world, our trained specialists use a careful 5-step process inspecting, dusting, cleaning, drying, grooming, and protecting, so your rug always gets the expert care it deserves. Don't wait. Call ABC Chem Dry today at 315-738-1111 to schedule a drop-off or pickup.
You know you want one. A Bad Boys mower isn't just another mower. It's second to none. It's an American-built machine with heavy-duty U.S. steel and shipped straight to Bob's Bad Boys mowers, never sitting around in a warehouse. That means when you're ready to mow, your bad boy is ready to go. And when the job's done, we're still here with expert sales, service, maintenance, and warranty support. Stop by Bob's Bad Boys Sales and Service, 6419 Middle Road in Munnsville. Call 315-264-2781 or visit bobsbadboys.com.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal, book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Get rates as low as 3.74% annual percentage rate during Sunmark Credit Union's auto loan sale. Visit sunmark.org/sale. Restrictions apply. Call 866-SUNMARK for details. Federally insured by NCUA.
At River Hills Properties, they call it white glove treatment. Service that's not normally provided to customers looking to buy or sell a home here in upstate New York. This is Bill Keeler. My wife and I had River Hills sell our home, and it sold in under a week, but it was more than that. It was all of the things they did to relieve the stress, to serve as a team member for us, and basically get the job done and make it easier for a buyer to come in and understand. That's where the book comes in. It's like a manual for the home. They create all of that. No lockbox. Your listing agent, and for us it was Robin Monjo, your listing agent there every time the house is shown. That's River Hills Properties. And now they have a full-service office in Sarasota, Florida. Think Snowbird. Think River Hills Properties, located in Barneville, Little Falls, in Newport, and Rome, and now in Sarasota, Florida. 315-896-1009. Nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
Hey, it's your radio buddy Jimmy Fallon, host of Fox Across America. We're talking politics, pop culture, and comedy, minus all the rage and finger-pointing. It's real talk for real people who just want to laugh, think, maybe learn something along the way. So join the fun weekdays at noon right here on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, Central New York's home for talk that's smart, honest, and just the right amount of crazy. Fox Across America with your main man, Jimmy Fallon.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
A couple of comments. Paul Buckley this morning. That's Grandpa, sweetheart, to you. He is a new grandfather. Very proud of it. Joe in Whitesboro. Bill, you need to lay down and see a psychiatrist if you think the Mets are even making the playoffs. Did they have something in that drinking water when you were on vacation?
Yeah.
Listen, you know when you get a note under your door in the hotel room and they say, please do not drink the water on the excursion you're going to today. There are some places where you got to be careful around the world. How lucky we are to have water that we can drink. Unless you're in, Flint, Michigan?
Yeah.
Still bad there, as a matter of fact. Want to also tell you that New York Sash is hiring. If you're looking to make a change in your career, Here's an opportunity. Earn up to $30 an hour, plus enjoy steady year-round work with one of Central New York's most trusted home improvement companies. For over 35 years, Davey, did you see the typo in this in this copy? Because it says for over 35,000 years, New York Sash has built a reputation.
Wow.
I mean, I believe it's important sometimes to really exaggerate your positives just so people hear it. But
Even the cavemen were using them.
I think we're going a little too far here. Over 35 years, New York Sash has built a reputation for top-tier craftsmanship and customer satisfaction. Now they're building the team behind that reputation. And here's what you get. It's a career path. Great pay, full benefits, 401k, paid time off, opportunities for advancement, tools, uniforms supplied, support to succeed, and the pride knowing you're making a difference. You can go to NewYorkSash.com/jobs or 349 Riscady Boulevard, Whitesboro to get started. New York Sash. And the county executive is in. Good morning.
Good morning.
Not bragging about
I'm surrounded today.
Yeah.
I got three
Mets.
fans, a Red Sox fan. Davies behind the glass.
Yeah.
I mean, we're outnumbered here.
Crying towel.
He's warming up in the bullpen.
Well, what is it with these Yankees that can't hit the ball?
Can't hit.
No Judge, no Stanton. No,
yeah, but nobody's hitting.
Bellinger right now.
But it's amazing. It's really I've never seen a team go this long.
Well, have you noticed though in the last few years, the Yankees with Judge win.
Yeah.
The Yankees without Judge struggle.
Problem is this is the year. I mean, I thought they had, and I think they still do have one of the best pitching staffs.
Yeah,
I mean their starters are going.
Well, the games
seven
are
innings.
close.
7 innings. They're only giving up 1, 2, 3 runs. I mean, you got to win those games.
Some of these games where they're scoring 2 runs.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
They're winning.
They're winning, but but it's ridiculous.
And that's your pitching. And I just want to reiterate, I'm not saying the Mets are going to make the playoffs.
That's kind of what I heard.
Yeah,
I'm saying what I'm saying.
Did you hear that?
Is,
yeah, exactly.
Tim, I heard that coming in.
Apparently, what his brain.
What I'm saying is, I haven't completely ruled it out.
You haven't given up.
No.
No.
That's a diehard fan.
I am.
As Yankee fans, we say it's over in April.
Yeah.
We're like,
yeah. Well, remember, you're a Mets fan. Everything's built on you gotta believe. You don't. What all these sayings that. The amazing.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, you have announced, and by the way, I was announcing how New York Sash is hiring. There are a lot of jobs out there right now.
There's a lot of jobs out there right now. There are
a lot of opportunity.
We're doing a lot of marketing, working with some companies, and that's going to be rolling out soon. And we're hiring too. I mean, everybody is. A lot of work going on, a lot of construction work going on. More to come, and. It's going to be a busy. Yeah, it's going to be a busy couple of years.
It is funny. I was talking to a restaurant owner recently, and even while we were on vacation, talking to people outside the country. Since COVID, the world has changed. It used to be a restaurant would be filled at 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
You'd have that second push that came through.
Nobody's doing this. Nobody's turning tables.
No.
No one's turning tables.
Aside from the consistent older people, must be there at 4:49 to get in and get their same seat every day. Right. It's different today.
Yeah, it doesn't. Even locally, they're not.
They're closing up by 9 o'clock.
Yeah, 9 o'clock. Kitchen's closed.
Yeah.
Moving on.
So where did all the workers go? It's really the oddest thing in the world.
It really is. We talk about it often, whether it's remote working or whether it's some other system that they've got in place, or whether it's a series of part-time jobs rather than the full-time 9 to 5, or
maybe one staying home.
Right.
They have kids or whatever it might be.
So it varies. It's still something that we have not been able to pinpoint.
So how do you? And I actually had a discussion with somebody in the last week about this, because there is this rumor out there that maybe beyond everything that Turning Stone has done, improvements in Marcy with Wolf Speed and and Danfoss, the opportunities that could be coming with Micron, Chobani.
Right.
Housing is a problem. But, by the way, there's another rumor that something could happen in addition to all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to report on anything?
No, I don't.
Okay. You are smiling, though.
I always smile.
Smiling is a good thing.
I always smile.
A frown would be like,
I always
yeah,
smile.
that opportunity blew up
I'll
the other
frown
day.
about baseball, but I'm smiling about everything else.
So I won't say any more or ask any more on that. However, the question from this person was, where are these people going to live? Where are they going to come from?
We have been talking, as we talk with companies and as I talk with, whether it's Edge, whether it's the IDA, whether it's the ESD on the state level, talk about jobs. My concern is not finding people. It's where are these people?
Where are they going to go?
I mean, that's the challenge. And it's the same in Micron. I talked to Brian McMahon about that. I mean, there's an area, right? They're doing the same thing we are.
There's a crossover area though,
right,
where we're both competing,
which we all need, but but our competition isn't even on the job front, because we think there's plenty to go around for everybody. It's our competition is going to be on housing, and who can build it, who can build it faster.
Yep.
And how many can we build in the amount of time that we need. That's becoming, the IDA we put a new policy in to incentivize and get, more development on, working with the Oneida Indian Nation, as they look to expand and build, thousands of them, literally 1,000 homes. Over the next 5 years, because they need them as well. And, as it goes to, the Chobanis, the Microns, the Wolfspeeds, but the existing businesses as well.
Right. It's beyond those.
It's beyond those. It's beyond those.
Yeah. And the state is not making it easier.
No, I mean, and one of the things that we've been pushing for is, if they are serious, I mean, we do have sites that we need to get cleared to build these houses. And we talked about the last time I was here. We talk about St. Luke's. We talk about St. Elizabeth. Those are prime sites, because the other thing is, it's one thing to have the ability to build those homes. It's like, where are you going to put them so that people are, have access? Now, there's nothing wrong with rural settings. We can do that, but we still need, more homes that are in the population centers that, that people can get to and from things. And, the easy thing about this area is that it's easy to go a mile a minute somewhere. And you're not struggling as in other communities when you're going to a Wolfspeed, or when you're going to a Chobani, or when you're going to a Turning Stone, to the Griffiths Park, to the Utica Business Park, wherever. I mean, any of that stuff is easily accessible. So trying to get more homes in that area is important.
Tim,
Tony, I had a chance to be able to go to the housing forum that you guys had too, and it's not only having the amount of houses, but the right houses
type.
as well.
Something someone's going to want.
You're going to have the townhouses, the things like that, or the people starting or whatever. Not everybody wants the $600,000-$700,000 house or whatever it is. You've got to have the right house, because otherwise, what's going to happen is, you may have the buildings with the jobs, but people are mobile. They can, they can drive 45 minutes or whatever it is. And if you want to sell them a slice of pizza, that's fine, but you're not going to get, you're not going to get the tax base. You're not going to get all those other sorts of things. So I think it's just incredibly important to have that piece together. So
it is, and it's got to be affordable. And, that becomes the stigma that's attached to workforce housing has to stop. People, young people in particular. I mean, and even families. I mean, whether it's the single earner, as we talked about, or with children, they need to have those types of houses, apartments, townhouses, call them whatever you want, that are affordable to them, and that provide them the ability to grow and to then move into something else if they choose.
Exactly.
Some people like apartment living. I mean, because they don't have the headaches that those of us who own houses
do on
a daily basis.
The other part of this are these condo communities that you see in Florida and in other major cities around the country. and not just major cities, but really in other states around the country where they build a community, and there's a little shop there, there's a convenience store, there's a golf course, there's swimming pool, all of that built in.
And that's some of what we can look at for a place like St. Luke's, because it has 53 acres of developable land that can include more than just houses. And can include a neighborhood of sorts, and whether it's a park, whether it's some type of other recreation that people want, and in a corridor that connects to multiple areas.
Yeah, you can get anywhere businesses from there. 15 years ago, do you think we'd be facing this problem?
Well, I did think, the problem of workforce was, I think we were all focused on workforce. That wasn't a bad thing, because we did see, the growth in so many of the tech industries that we have here, but also in some of the other manufacturing pieces. And recognizing that, I think maybe we sold short, 10, 15 years ago. I agree with that we thought we had housing, because when you saw housing being sold and moving, you were like, oh no, we're good.
Well, with the base left,
we're good.
Well, had all of this.
Well, yeah, we had a lot of. You had, in the early 2000s, even into the 2010, 11. You still had an inventory there, or at least some. But we were starting to see at that point, as we talk about that, as Tim said, that you have to have a different style of housing, and that's Air City Lofts at Rome. Ed Griffiths is a great example. And what Lewis did in Lewis Homes did in Clark Mills is another great example.
But the Air City is a great example, because when that was being constructed, I heard from more people. No one is ever going to live there.
Who's going to go live there?
No one will.
I know. I live in Rome, and I hear that all the time.
But if you live,
as soon as they built it, they were filled, and they keep filling them up.
But if you live on a street where you have a big front yard, a big backyard, and a picket fence, you aren't going to understand. This is a younger generation that wants
to be
different.
Mobile. Wants to be mobile. Doesn't want to get tied down on the weekends, like the mowing the lawn, painting the shutters, doing whatever else has to be done on a weekly basis, especially in the summertime.
Right. Stand by. I want to talk about the veterans opportunity here as well. And if anybody else, any questions, 315-736-0186. The first question I'm going to ask on the way out, did there come a point where you were in an effing elevator with the chairman of the Oneida County Republican Committee, and was there some sort of... Just give us an effing answer when we come back, if you could. And that'll be my first question.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton. If you have substantial assets, a delay in planning can cost you. It takes time to reduce taxes and protect assets. Planning ahead can save money and ease the stress on your family. We employ multiple strategies to protect what you have built. Call us for a free analysis of your tax and asset protection issues, because the smartest plan is made early.
Hilton, you know the name, they know the law. Hilton Estate and Elder Law.
Apply for an auto loan from AmeriQ and enjoy the ride with no payments for 90 days. Now that's a smooth ride. And an even smoother ride for this guy. Limited time offer. Get started at AmeriQ.org.
Do not trust what any CEO ever tells you. Do not trust US Mobile just because I'm telling you. My name is Ahmed Khattak and I'm the founder of US Mobile. US Mobile invented this technology that lets you share data across any of the 3 networks. In America, there's more coverage than any single carrier in America because we give you all 3 of them and let you switch between them anytime. Our cheapest plans start as low as $5. They go up to $44, but that $44 plan gives you unlimited priority data in America and keeps you connected in more than 160 countries abroad. US Mobile offers a 30-day free trial. US Mobile has no contracts. We don't lock you down. And over 1 million customers seem to like it. We're a top-rated carrier by Consumer Reports. US Mobile is Wirecutter's top cell phone plan. All I'm asking for anyone who's listening to this is just Google US Mobile. Just go to US Mobile subreddit. Just search for US Mobile and make a decision for yourself. If you're ready, visit usmobile.com.
Consumer Reports does not endorse products or services.
Mostly cloudy skies, now 62 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaske. It is 7:31. This news update brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. President Trump says Iran is in very bad shape and the U.S. is only semi-negotiating with them in order to let the pressure build. In an interview with Axios on Sunday, Trump said the U.S. is essentially low-keying negotiations with Tehran, striking an optimistic tone more than 6 months after the start of military action. The president said it will work out. It always works out. Iran's foreign minister, however, telling reporters yesterday that there is no possibility of kickstarting negotiations until the Islamic Republic is compensated for what he called U.S. violations of the Memorandum of Understanding. Todd Blanche will be sworn in today as the nation's next U.S. Attorney General. The Senate narrowly confirmed the acting AG by a 50-49 vote over the weekend after weeks of debate, with a handful of Republicans voting with Democrats in opposition. Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is not ruling out a run for president or Senate in 2028. She was pressed about her future plans on Sunday during ABC's This Week, but sidestepped the issue, saying she's focused on winning the midterms and running for Congress right now. She said she thinks, quote, "We are in a time of renewal for the Democratic Party," and said opportunities are tremendously excited for all of us. Tremendously exciting for all of us, end quote. Jury selection in the murder trial of the man accused of orchestrating the murder of Tupac Shakur is set to begin today in Las Vegas. Dwayne Davis faces life in prison without parole if convicted. Shakur was sitting at a red light when a white Cadillac pulled up next to him and opened fire on September 7th of 1996. He was shot multiple times and died 6 days later. And Spider-Man: Brand New Day continues to dominate at the North American box office. It raked in another $145 million during its second weekend. The Odyssey came in second place with more than $31 million in its fourth weekend at the box office. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
Not a great severe weather risk, but we will mention that chance of stronger storms, maybe severe storms, as we get into this afternoon. Probably really going to stay south of us, out across the southern tier and down into central Pennsylvania. But still, clouds will thicken up, a passing shower this morning. This afternoon, a few showers, thunder showers through this evening. 85. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms early, 65. Probably dip into the 50s in the Adirondacks. Then we're set up for some great weather Tuesday and Wednesday. Partial sun Tuesday, 80. Sunshine Wednesday, 82. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stitchick, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy skies, 62 degrees at 7:34.
When your doctor recommends a breast biopsy, what you want most is answers, and you don't want to wait for them. At Community Memorial, we offer some of the shortest wait times in the area for breast biopsy procedures because faster access brings peace of mind. Your care is led by board-certified surgeon Dr. Niels Thomas McBride, working alongside our experienced radiology team, using advanced imaging technology for greater precision and clearer results. We offer multiple biopsy options, including mammogram-guided and ultrasound-guided procedures, so your care is personalized for you. And because your imaging, biopsy, and follow-up care all happen within one connected system, information moves quickly, and you spend less time waiting and worrying. Better access, better technology, better coordination and communication. That's how breast care should be done. Learn more at communitymemorial.org and get better at CMH in Hamilton.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Do you have a history of those dreadful calcium oxalate stones? Well, Kidney Cop is here to help. Shown in laboratory testing to reduce the rate of calcium oxalate crystal growth by 99%. Yes, 99%. Don't wait. Start taking Kidney Cop Calcium Oxalate Protector today. That's Kidney Cop, C-O-P, Kidney Cop. Order today at Amazon.com, Walmart.com, or KidneyCop.com. That's Amazon, Walmart, or KidneyCop.com.
Little Falls Lumber has everything you need for home improvement season. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors, available in 12-foot lengths and affordable solutions for sheds, garages, and roof repairs. Tired of digging through warped boards at the big box stores? At Little Falls Lumber, you'll find only premium grade lumber, hand-selected for quality. They also carry roofing, siding, windows, doors, and much more. Visit Little Falls Lumber in Little Falls in Syracuse. Call 315-823-2470 or go to littlefallslumber.com.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, in studio right now.
Microphone there.
What happened? In studio right now is County Executive Anthony Vicente. What do you have?
All right, so this is from
We don't
Sue.
get questions on the phone anymore. No. Now the new radio thing is you message into the station.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just reading this. Sue says Vicente did not renew Trackside's lease at Union Station as he has other plans for that space. Is anything moving forward with those plans?
Short answer, no. I don't have other plans right now. There is nothing in the works. I've heard, I've answered different questions from other people as well, and even restaurants as well, to say this one's going there, that one's going there. No one's going there right now. We are evaluating whether or not it makes sense to have a restaurant there, and whether it's cost effective for us, and whether the site can handle it. It needs a great deal of work. And that's something that I have to look at other things before I build a restaurant.
The kitchen is old.
Kitchen's old. The whole the bar area, that area where that counter is in, really makes it hard.
Yeah,
because it's an historic building, and it makes it hard to really make a restaurant kind of. Mm-hmm. What's the word I'm looking for? Just
feasible, profitable.
The flow.
The flow and everything is really clunky. So we're trying to figure out what we can do with that counter, if anything. If we can do that, then you can open up that space, and that space could be better utilized. I did not terminate the lease. There's a lot of, but I don't want to get into that. That was something that happened over time.
Well, the problem. So I want a little insight, and I don't know what any of this means, but. About 2 weeks before they closed, we went to dinner there. And I didn't even know they were serving dinner there. That's another problem. Advertising still remains important for success. There are some places, when do you see Willows advertise? When do you see cars not in the parking lot at Willows?
Right.
The place is highly successful. Great food over there, but they don't advertise. If you're in the train station, you're going to have to advertise and build your audience, your clientele. The problem is we luckily had a nice waitress who just gushed on the whole story. Somebody had died. They were trying to keep the kids decided they were going to try to keep it going. They were struggling. They didn't know if they were going to be able to pull it off. And it kind of showed in the food, to be honest with you. But we're like, well, we'll come back and support you, and then it closed. So there was stuff going on there.
There was. And they were month to month for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And with the understanding that we were looking at doing something else, or just not staying in the restaurant business. It's kind of hard for a government to get into that business, or even leasing. And not that we were in the business and that, but.
Kind of on the same street. What's going on with the old Trackside for those of us
I don't,
in the
I do not know because I don't.
I mean, that's been like
we don't
years.
own it. We don't
Remember
own
that
it.
was gutted.
I don't even know who owns it anymore.
It was gutted and turned into
I don't.
That was.
Well, Matt Hamill had it a long time,
for a while, but I don't know.
And then I'd heard
trainer
that there was,
had it.
And then I heard there was a Bosnian group or something had it or whatever. And sometimes I see like it looks like there's some work going on, but then nothing.
People think that we, just because it's so close and because it kind of, the building that looks a little like the train station or the historic piece that it's ours, but it's not.
It is a place where I wish it was still open. Yeah. However, what's the name of the building that's been refurbished?
Taylor and the Cook.
Well, you have Taylor and the Cook, which did a tremendous job.
Or what?
Piers and Blake,
Doyle Hardware.
The Doyle Hardware building
Crust
now has crust in there, which
is doing really well.
Draw, yeah,
doing really well.
Yeah. So there is food down there and beverage.
Yep.
Anything else other than the veterans thing that's on your mind? That
no.
How do you attract people to come here and work and say it's a great place to live, cost of living is lower, et cetera, et cetera? How do you make that sell?
I think it's just a combination of everything that takes place here and what's been going on. I talked about this at Turning Stone's opening of the new hotel a couple weeks back, and that the amount of investment that has taken place in Oneida County over the past 10 years rivals anything upstate. I mean, just take away the Bills, the Bills Stadium. I mean, we're at the top of what's been built upstate. So I think that that kind of momentum, and it is up to us to build on it, whether it's through our marketing itself. I mean, the stories we tell, working with their chambers, working with groups like Genesis and everyone else to get the message out, but also marketing it directly. We did that last year. We did the marketing piece on Chobani to kind of but highlighted all the other pieces. And when we need to continue to do that, and as more jobs come our way, we need to continue. I think that one of the things we're seeing is that we have to invest in advertising equally to what our partners in business do. And that's important for us, and that's a little different than government usually does. But if we want people to live here, if we want people to build here, if we want people to move here, on and on and on, we have to invest equally in that outreach. And that means going to other areas, that means advertising in other areas, that means doing whatever we need to do to showcase what's happening in Oneida County.
I want to go back to my the committee chair question.
We got to talk about veterans, though. I don't want to let the veterans.
We're going to get there quickly on this. I'll tell a quick story. I've had two opportunities to work for the chair on radio. First one didn't go all that badly, but it didn't go well, and I didn't take the job. The second one, I was already on the job, and they had just acquired the radio station, which is now KISS. And we met at the Radisson, and me and the son and the father and the Holy Ghost. We were all there, and I was told, all right, this is how it's going to go. I'm not necessarily a big Bill Keeler fan, but, you draw. I don't like you're going to have to play music. You're going to have to do this, that. And there'll be no contract. If I wake up tomorrow morning, Bill, this is just fair. We're both wrestlers. If I wake up tomorrow morning, we both have hair issues. If I wake up tomorrow morning, and I'm like, I don't like Bill Keeler on my radio station anymore, you're gone. So as long as you're okay with that deal, I'm willing to, well, as you might imagine, nothing came out of it. And I kind of feel like if there was an elevator conversation, his interpretation of county chair and the power that comes with it seems to be a bit elevated artificially.
I really don't recall being on an elevator at all. I don't. I do recall him at the county building one time when he came for a board meeting, for a committee meeting on something in which he got off the elevator. I was in the hall, and he asked me where the board chambers was, and I just pointed down the hall and said, "That's where it is." That's the only conversation I remember.
On the audio that was taped.
Sure.
Do you have any comment on that?
No. I mean, what can you say about that other than, I mean, it just. I mean, I'm not going to go down to that level.
Veterans.
Yes.
Obviously, open application period right now.
Right.
As I said, we've been at war for a long time, which means a lot of the days of the American Legion being your father or grandfather's location, those days are gone.
No.
These are younger men and women that are frequenting these places, and it's important to invest in them.
They are, and I felt that with the 250th anniversary, everything that's been happening, one of the things that we don't want to neglect is that place that they gather in, and that they still are a part of, and we have, I think there's 23 or 25 different posts or VFWs or American Legions, however. There's a distinction between the two American Legions that exist in Oneida County. That we've at times helped with different things. We helped some during COVID with rescue funds and whatever. But we looking at they really need a little bit more. Whether it's sprucing up or just basic repairs that they can't do on their own, and felt that. We need to do more for our veterans. Even though we have our Veterans Service Agency, we do a lot with the different organizations, the Order of Purple Heart that you have, the car show, the different events that take place throughout the course of the year. But we really need to do a little bit more. So this is really a matching, grant program that we can partner with them. They need a roof. They need some strictly capital repairs that they need to do in these facilities. And how can we help and match some dollars with them?
The application, they go to the website.
Go to the website and pretty. It's a no-brainer. Pretty easy, pretty basic, and and we can work with them through both our through our Veterans Agency, our planning department, my office. And we want to get them, this money out the door and get them to fix their places and hopefully more of the veterans. You mentioned that we are still in a war of sorts. I mean, obviously we're in a war, but we lose track that everybody always thinks of the American Legion from World War II to Vietnam, and then it stops. Well, it doesn't stop there. I mean, the Iraqi conflicts, the Gulf War, all of those things. There's still a slew of a number of veterans from that, and continue every day. And then there's organizations like the Sons of the American Legion,
right,
which is another piece, or those of us who didn't serve, but our fathers did. So I mean, it's a big group.
As a veteran, Tim, comments on?
I think it's great.
Right.
Member of the New Hartford Legion.
Yeah,
it's well deserved.
How has it changed over the years, though? Since the World War II guys are really no longer there. Was there that moment of like, you guys, you didn't know war, we knew? There is because that exists today. By the way,
there is an older group.
Yeah,
and I think
the younger group never went through what they went through.
Exactly.
And,
but the younger group we went through these wars for 20 years.
Yeah, I know.
So it's been a long time. So, I think similar, Tony, maybe in a way in regards to when we talk about housing, they've got to think about that this is a new group of folks in regards to it and how you present yourself. So
for information, call Maya DeFazio.
Right.
Did I say that right?
You did.
315-798-5710.
In the planning department. Right.
Or go to you can email her at rmmrdefazio@oneidacountyny.gov. Thank you. We'll do it again.
We will.
Enjoy the rest of the week and the humidity.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444. This is Dan from Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, across from Texas Roadhouse. Get years of summer fun for you and your family with a new above-ground pool starting at just $89.99 installed. You can take advantage of our 0% in-house financing. We can have your new pool installed in about 10 days. Don't let the summer pass you by. If an in-ground pool is your dream, the experts at Acme will guide you through the process. There's nothing better than enjoying summer in your backyard with an in-ground pool. Don't miss out on our midsummer sale with above-ground pools starting at $89.99 installed within about 10 days with our in-house 0% financing. Or let the experts at Acme guide you through selecting a custom in-ground pool, choosing from steel or fiberglass options. That's Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, and our midsummer pool sale going on now. We do the work, you just enjoy.
The summer sale is on at Mattress Express. Get a king for the price of a queen for the price of a full, and a full for the price of a twin. Ask how to get upgraded to an adjustable base for free. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
There's never been a better time to buy the commercial mower that has your back, Ferris. For a limited time, your Ferris dealer, Clinton Tractor, has the best financing offers of the year. Choose the offer that works best for you, 36 or 60 months. There are even options to skip payments when work is slow. It's never been easier to buy a Ferris. So visit Clinton Tractor today on Meadow Street in Clinton. Ferris, experience suspension. All loans subject to credit approval.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
On the line right now is Ryan Nobles from NBC. Ryan, good morning. I think you need a Ryan Nobles neon clock, I got to tell you. Oh, yeah, don't touch me.
Bill, you're the only radio show in America where you can have a guy on that makes neon and coffee. I don't know if there's nowhere else in the world I think that's happening.
Well, that's a Utica. I think that's kind of a Utica thing.
That's a Utica thing, for sure.
No doubt.
Yep.
All right,
one of the many Rays Utica special. Mm-hmm.
I saw you last night talking about the primaries. Your thoughts on, because the big focus here for Democrats, and Trump is trying to play this and define this as communism versus socialism. And the big question was going to be, are the moderates dead in the Democratic Party? And it turns out, not really, right?
Listen, I think it was a good night for progressives. I don't want anybody to underplay that. I think that I know NBC's already called the race for Abdul Al-Sayed. He's likely to be the Democratic nominee. But I think the most important statistic to take away from last night is that there were 2.3 million Democrats that voted in the Michigan primary last night. That's the most that have ever voted in a non-presidential primary in the last 28 years. So what does that tell you? It tells you that Democrats are fired up. And I do think that Abdul Al-Sayed winning, I think it's much more likely that Al-Sayed is able to win over moderate voters who are not fans of Donald Trump than it would be that Haley Stevens would be able to win over hardcore progressives that are willing to kind of throw the baby out with the bathwater to get a purity candidate. So I think Al-Sayed probably has a better chance of coalescing the Michigan primary vote. And the fact that there were so many people willing to come out and cast a ballot in early August for a race like this, I think it's a big sign that Democrats are pretty fired up going into 2026.
Banaski.
I saw some reporting this morning, and the take was a little bit different. I just want your thoughts on this. The thought was so many Democrats came out because it was thought Al-Sayed would win handily, and they were trying to support the more establishment Democrat. Thoughts on that?
I mean, I think that you can make that argument, but, we had reporters on the ground, and when you talk to Democrats that were voting, overwhelmingly what they told us was, I'm voting for Stevens today, I'm voting for Al-Sayed today, but I'm going to vote for whoever wins the Democratic primary in the fall. There does not seem to be a huge divide there. I do think there were moderates that were concerned about Al-Sayed, and I do think that there are moderates worried that he may be too far to the left in a state like Michigan. This is not New York City. This is a state that swings back and forth between Republicans and Democrats. Donald Trump narrowly won the state in 2024, but Democrats won the Senate seat in 2024. But I do think that Al-Sayed's a bit of a different candidate than most progressives. He is very articulate. He has a a very competent way of selling the progressive message that is not as scary to middle Americans as some other progressive candidates. I'm thinking about the candidate for governor in Wisconsin, which you may have seen called for canceling Thanksgiving and then kind of doubled down on it on CNN the other day. So I do think that, I think there are reasons for Democrats to be concerned, especially because Michigan is a deal breaker for them. They cannot win back the Senate majority if they can't win back, or if they can't hold Michigan. They're talking about winning in places like Texas and Iowa. They're trying to flip Maine, hold Georgia, flip North Carolina. All of that, none of that will matter if they can't hold on to Michigan. So this is as important a race as there is on the map for Senate Democrats, and there's no doubt that it's probably going to be one of the most competitive going into the fall.
Can I just read from YouTube? I just want to read a few comments here. Tony Baloney says, sounds like let's go with the Bill and Ryan I Hate Trump show. By the way, Trump not even mentioned at all here, but this shows you how Trump cannot get out of their heads. He goes on to say, sounds like three lesbians sitting around weaving baskets. Again, it tells me basically...
Wait, is Manaski a lesbian too?
Apparently. But it tells me a little bit about Tony Baloney and Cha Wick and their 29% unwavered support for Donald Trump, because that's where it is. And if you think that's okay, 29% or 30 or 32, whatever it really is, then I guess that's okay. But you're in trouble right now. And by the way, no one is bitching about Trump. The only one talking about Trump is you. Ryan, how do you deal with it? Obviously, in pockets like ours, you have a lot of Trump supporters. And some of them are those TDS Trump supporters, Trump delusional syndrome, where they are so stuck in the cult that they cannot see if he does anything wrong, or if anyone even kind of thinks something even questionable, they are the enemy. I mean,
I don't do anything wrong. Greatest president.
That is
You're
the real
president, Bill.
That is the real definition of TDS. But Brian, how do you do it?
You can have an emotional argument about this, and I think there are many people, both right and left, that have emotional arguments about candidates that they prefer. But let's just talk about it in pure statistics. You're right to point out pretty much every poll that comes out about President Trump's approval rating has him in the low 30s to high 20s. The last time a president was that far down in the polls was 2006. Do you remember what happened in 2006? That's when George W. Bush's presidency was waning, and Democrats had a massive wave election. If you recall, that was for voters in central New York. I was there at the time. That was after Sherry Bullard had resigned and retired.
Oh, that year.
And Democrats took back that seat in 2006. Democrats won everywhere in 2006, and it was largely because George W. Bush was so unpopular. Now, the difference is that even that 30% of Republican support for George W. Bush during that time was shaky. There weren't even Republicans that were super passionate about him, and Donald Trump retains a passionate base of supporters who, as you rightly point out, he can do no wrong. But there's just no scenario in which a Republican could feel comfortable about where things stand going into the midterm elections, and that's based on statistics. That's not based on emotion. That's the price of gas. It's the price of everyday goods when you go to the grocery store. There's just not a single metric that, when you compare those metrics to campaign results over the past 50 years, that would demonstrate that Republicans have an opportunity here to overcome those difficult headwinds. Now, the biggest difference between 2006 and 2026, this is 20 years we're talking about, is that these House districts have been so crazily gerrymandered that there are far fewer competitive districts as there was back in 2006. I mean, basically, the Bullard district doesn't even exist anymore because of redistricting. So that, I think, is the last thing that Republicans are holding on to, that these districts have been gerrymandered enough that the losses can't be insurmountable. But in terms of just pure politics, there's just no sign, and that's not my personal opinion about Donald Trump's performance. Not my personal opinion about Republican policies. It's just the raw data that's telling us.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Tate Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
We're only semi-negotiating with Iran. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump tells Axios, that he's taking a low-key approach as talks continue to get shipping flowing fully through the Strait of Hormuz after all of Iran's attacks on ships.
The Iranian government issued a new list of demands for the United States. Tehran says free passage won't be reinstated until the US corrects its behavior. It wants the blockade of Iranian ports lifted, the American military withdrawn, and compensation for war damage. Meanwhile, Israel's prime minister's rejected a 15-point Board of Peace plan for Gaza. Benjamin Netanyahu says his troops won't withdraw until Hamas is completely disarmed.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. Oil prices are up more than 1%, but they've dropped big last week when President Trump had paused U.S. bombing again. So analyst Trevely Lundberg tells Fox gas will get cheaper.
Because oil prices are way down, and so are the prices that retailers pay for their fuel. They're going to share those price cuts with us.
AAA's national average for regular down 9 cents since last Monday to $4 per gallon. That's still $1 more than before the Iran conflict. Ukraine keeps blowing up Russian oil refineries. The latest drone attack left at least 13 people dead, 75 wounded, according to Russian officials, as Ukraine keeps taking the war into Russia with attacks causing fuel shortages there. A New York boat captain's in federal custody, charged with reckless endangerment after his charter boat trip near the Statue of Liberty in the harbor turned into a nightmare when the boat capsized.
The 21-foot motorboat reportedly could only seat 10 people, but a total of 14 were on board at the time. That includes a 27-year-old mother from Queens and her 5-month-old infant who were pronounced dead at a local hospital after being pulled from the water by first responders. The child's father was reportedly also on board but survived the accident.
Fox's Nate Foy. The Coast Guard's investigating if it was an illegal charter boat trip. America's listening to Fox News.
In a recent survey of 123,000 wireless customers, Pure Talk was the only wireless company to receive 5 stars in every category: coverage, support, value, and data. What else do you need to know? Switch to Pure Talk today and get any plan, including their top shelf unlimited data plan, for just $15 a month for your first 3 months. No contract, no commitment. Dial pound 250, say micro, and let Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team help you make the switch.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Bakery owners, you will be loved today. Every pastry will be flaky. Your cake will make a child's day. Your delivery van won't get sideswiped by a distracted garbage truck driver. But if so, breathe easy, knowing you'll get back to business quickly with Progressive protecting your commercial auto. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Candidates in 4 states will make a final pitch today before the primary voting tomorrow in Connecticut and Vermont, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. After primaries last week in Michigan set up a very closely watched Senate race.
Republican Mike Rogers and Democrat Abdul El-Sayed are set to face off in the general election. Indiana Republican Jim Banks calls El-Sayed
the most extreme, socialist-leaning Democrat candidate in America.
El-Sayed says he is not a socialist. Rogers wants to be the first Republican Michigan senator since 2001, but Connecticut Democrat Chris Murphy called him
a candidate who is pro-corporate, who is pro-Trump, who is pro-war.
Both senators were on NBC's Meet the Press. Keeping the Michigan seat is considered important in Democrats' attempt to flip the Senate majority. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
At the movies, Spider-Man keeps weaving a record web.
Spider-Man Brand New Day swung to $144.5 million domestically in its second weekend.
I am totally out of control.
I gotta fix whatever this is right now.
No movie's ever racked up a higher total faster, and it puts the Sony Marvel release on track to be among the biggest blockbusters ever after grabbing $1.67 billion worldwide in just 10 days. This Spider-Man has already passed Toy Story 5 to become the year's biggest movie. Meantime, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is having an epic run of its own, crossing $1 billion worldwide. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed before this week's trading. Down for the Dow, up for the NASDAQ. After gains Friday, they lifted the S&P 500 to a record high close. Tonight, somebody could turn a $2 investment into a $905 million fortune. That's the Powerball jackpot. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
We have a few clouds, 63 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 8:05. This news update is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. A man suspected of killing his parents in the town of Madison was free on bail just days before the murders. That's according to the Madison County Sheriff's Office, which says Justin Sislow had been under investigation for a domestic-related assault against a woman in the town of Moravia in early July. He was arrested and facing numerous felony charges, but was let out on bail that was paid for by his parents. 9 days after he was freed, Sislow is accused of killing his parents before ultimately turning the gun on himself. An investigation continues today into a deadly crash in Oneida County. The sheriff's office says they were called to a section of State Route 69 in Ansville on Sunday morning. Responding deputies found a black F-150 that had left the road, with the driver found deceased inside the truck. What led up to the crash is unclear. So far, the name of the victim in the accident has not yet been released. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office says the 911 call center received a total of 81 calls to 911 from a single person over the course of about 4 hours on Sunday. At least 76 of those calls were non-essential, and a number of them were threatening in nature, with the threats directed toward 911 dispatchers and law enforcement. That same afternoon, the suspect, Lawrence Diptola of Utica, was located at his home and taken into custody without incident. Lawrence was subsequently charged with aggravated harassment, a Class A misdemeanor, and held at the county jail pending arraignment. Oneida County continuing to prepare its future workforce by introducing summer youth employment program participants to one of the fastest growing technologies shaping today's economy. About 80 participants in the youth employment program completed an artificial intelligence awareness course, which was offered last week through the County Office of Workforce Development in partnership with Mohawk Valley Community College. The pilot program provided students with a practical introduction to AI and its growing impact on education, careers, and everyday life. County Executive Anthony Pacenti saying, preparing our young people for success means equipping them with the knowledge and skills they'll need in a rapidly changing workforce. Producers across New York State have until tomorrow to apply for protection from federal tariff policy. Governor Kathy Hochul announced the $30 million program in her State of the State address this year. She says it's meant to help dairy, livestock, specialty crop, and aquaculture producers offset rising costs and market loss caused by the Trump administration's tariff policies. Applications are available through the state's website. And a traffic note in Herkimer County, drivers will see a single lane setup through State Route 5 between Drive-In and Elmwood Roads in Schuyler. State DOT officials say the lane reduction begins tomorrow. It's expected to last for about 8 weeks, depending on the weather. They are working on the bridge that crosses over the New York State Thruway. Right now, a few clouds, 63 degrees. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
Not a great severe weather risk, but we will mention that chance of stronger storms, maybe severe storms, as we get into this afternoon. Probably really going to stay south of us, out across the southern tier and down into central Pennsylvania. But still, clouds will thicken up, a passing shower this morning. This afternoon, a few showers, thunder showers through this evening. 85. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms early, 65. Probably dip into the 50s in the Adirondacks. Then we're set up for some great weather Tuesday and Wednesday. Partial sun Tuesday, 80. Sunshine Wednesday, 82. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stitchick, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Again, clouds and 63 degrees at 8:09. All right, from the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk, Yankees lose 2-1 in 10 innings. Trent Grisham accounted for the only run with a solo home run. The Mets brought the bats against the Buccos, 11-1 the final there, as Bo Bichette was 5 for 5 with 3 RBIs. Luis Robert Jr. also drove in 4 runs. The Mets have won 5 out of 6. They now head to Atlanta to open up a 3-game series against the Braves tonight. The Yankees, meanwhile, off tonight. They'll open up a series against the Mariners in the Bronx beginning tomorrow. All right, the Lions will have a different look at quarterback moving forward. Head coach Dan Campbell saying Sunday that veteran Teddy Bridgewater has decided to step away from the team amid training camp and was officially placed on the reserve injured list. Bridgewater previously retired, after the 2023 season, but then returned to Detroit in 2024. According to ESPN, the Lions are signing veteran backup Josh Dobbs to a 1-year deal worth a little over $1 million with nearly $500,000 fully guaranteed. Newly inducted Pro Football Hall of Famer Roger Craig says he's been diagnosed with vascular dementia. The legendary San Francisco 49ers running back disclosed his diagnosis during his Hall of Fame acceptance speech Saturday in Canton, Ohio. Craig said doctors believe his condition was caused in part by concussions that he sustained during his 11-year NFL career. The 66-year-old said he hopes sharing his story encourages others to pay more attention to their brain health and to seek help when something does not feel right. Craig played from 1983 to 1993 with 3 teams, most notably the Niners. He was the 2026 Pro Football Hall of Fame class's senior committee selection. NBA great Don Nelson passing away at the age of 86. He played in 5 NBA championships with the Boston Celtics and was a 3-time NBA Coach of the Year. Nelson, perhaps best remembered for his coaching, which spanned over 30 seasons. He was a head coach of the Bucks, the Knicks, the Mavericks, and the Warriors. He was inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in 2012. And NASCAR this weekend, it was Ty Gibbs securing a close win at the Iowa Corn 350 on Sunday. The number 54 car held off Christopher Bell by 1/4 of a second to take home the checkered flag at the Iowa Speedway. It is a Monday morning. First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
At Mohawk Valley Health System, nursing is more than a career. It's a calling.
I just love the family environment. Everyone's so helpful, so encouraging. Everyone here is amazing.
Whether you're starting your journey or ready to grow, MVHS offers competitive pay, career development, and a place to belong.
Everybody wants you to succeed, and I feel like the patients and families also feel that as well. My team helps me grow here.
Mohawk Valley Health System. Change lives, starting with yours. At Mohawk Valley Health System, we're investing in nurses like never before.
Working at the Wynn Hospital in the OR has given me the opportunity to not only enhance my critical thinking skills, but also my autonomy.
With competitive new rates, career development programs, and a culture built on support.
I love the team that I work with on the 7th floor.
Here at the Wynn Hospital, I'm not just part of a team, I'm part of a family.
You'll grow your nursing career with great pay, a supportive team, and real opportunities.
Here at the Wynn Hospital, I can find my niche and grow.
Change lives, starting with yours.
You know you want one. A Bad Boys mower isn't just another mower. It's second to none. It's an American-built machine with heavy-duty U.S. steel and shipped straight to Bob's Bad Boys mowers, never sitting around in a warehouse. That means when you're ready to mow, your bad boy is ready to go. And when the job's done, we're still here with expert sales, service, maintenance, and warranty support. Stop by Bob's Bad Boys Sales and Service, 6419 Middle Road in Munnsville. Call 315-264-2781 or visit bobsbadboys.com.
Do not trust what any CEO ever tells you. Do not trust US Mobile just because I'm telling you. My name is Ahmed Khattak and I'm the founder of US Mobile. US Mobile invented this technology that lets you share data across any of the 3 networks. In America, there's more coverage than any single carrier in America because we give you all 3 of them and let you switch between them. anytime. Our cheapest plans start as low as $5. They go up to $44, but that $44 plan gives you unlimited priority data in America and keeps you connected in more than 160 countries abroad. US Mobile offers a 30-day free trial. US Mobile has no contracts. We don't lock you down. And over 1 million customers seem to like it. We're a top-rated carrier by Consumer Reports. US Mobile is Wirecutter's top cell phone plan. All I'm asking for anyone who's listening to this is just Google US Mobile. Just go to US Mobile subreddit. Just search for US Mobile and make a decision for yourself. If you're ready, visit usmobile.com.
Consumer Reports does not endorse products or services.
Sal's Glass and Glazing would like to recognize and salute our local men and women in uniform who are serving our country. Let's remember them through our thoughts, prayers, and especially letters and packages from home. Their efforts will keep Americans strong. That's courtesy of Sal's Glass and Glazing at 392 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro, serving the area with quality and integrity for years. So go with the name you can trust and call Sal's Glass and Glazing at 315-736-2431. On the air because they care.
The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is now accepting new patients. This is Bill Keeler. It is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic. And right now, the Falcon Clinic is accepting new patients. Since adding some new physicians, a new physician's assistant, including Dr. Cheryl Mattern, they're now accepting new patients. Just call 315-507-4751. And yes, it is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, which means they do more. They look deeper. And your appointments are not in and out on your way. You're going to be with the doctor as long as you need to be with the doctor. And if your appointment is at 2 o'clock, you're in shortly thereafter. You're not going to sit around for an hour and a half. That's big. It's the Falcon Clinic. Dr. Kosminski, Dr. Mattern, Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shemaleski, all under one roof. The Falcon Clinic. Call 315-507-4751.
I'm Shanola Hampton. I support the Feeding America network of food banks because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
In studio right now is John Moranti. He's running for Oneida County Legislature. And John, good morning. Nice and tight on that microphone.
Good morning. It's been a while. I've been here.
It has.
About 7 years.
Come on up.
Has it really been that long?
Yes.
It was October of 2019.
All right.
Wow.
Okay. I don't think these new studios were built.
No, they weren't. They definitely weren't. No.
All right. Tell us about you and why should people vote for you for the legislature? You're a Republican.
I'm a Republican. I'm running.
You got to be tight.
You got to get on the mic there. Yep. Go right up.
You're right up in there.
I got to get like this.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I'm running.
Beautiful.
I got it. I got it.
Don't worry about his headphones. We're good.
Shit, I freaked out.
I know. John, come on back to the mic. Come on back.
I'm running in the 18th legislative district.
Yes.
Ward 4.
Which is for those where?
It's the east side. It's basically the east side above where Buckley Pool is.
East Utica. Okay.
East Utica.
Yeah. All right.
Part of Cornhill.
Got it.
I'm running for Oneida County Legislator, and my platform for my campaign is two things: public safety and trying to keep taxes low. That's what I'm running.
All right.
So, as a legislator for public safety, I would work with the judges. I would work with the district attorney's office, all the courts. I would work with the sheriff's office, the troopers, the local police, and the fires. Also, I'm campaigning on lower taxes.
Okay.
Now, I will never ever vote to raise taxes because in today's economy, you have utility bills everybody's complaining about. You have gas, you have food, you have co-pays, medical bills. You can't raise taxes on the public.
What if we're in a crisis and money has to be raised? I mean, right now, I think the county's been pretty good because the Oneida deal has really helped a lot.
And they're in Indian Nation, $26 million.
Yeah. But let's say you came in that situation.
That's one of my points. If you give me time, I got that all planned out. I want to talk about the Nexus Center. I want to talk about the 30-20 rule. I want to talk about...
Well, we're going to be here till 11.
Well, let's.
Do we have the time?
Give me about an hour.
All right. Listen, I do want to ask you, what if we're in a crisis?
Yeah. Okay.
And back to the mic.
Crisis for explain yourself. What do you mean?
We're in a crisis, a financial crisis. Paseni says we have no choice. We must increase taxes by 4%.
How would I vote?
Yes.
I would vote no.
You would vote no. Even if
I would vote no.
Okay.
I'm saying it right now. I will work with everybody, get along with everybody respectfully, but I'm not going to vote to raise taxes. There's other ways to do it. Now, if you remember, I came on the scene in 2019. I came up with an idea.
Okay.
You guys are driving me crazy with this.
Well, you want people to hear you?
If we can just keep you on the microphone.
If you sold us on your ideas, but you want to sell the audience.
Listen, I'm okay. You want to say no to taxes? Say no to taxes. Don't say no to the microphone.
Okay, gotcha. That's fair.
All right.
Okay. So why are you throwing my thinking?
Okay.
You do it to me all the time.
Right back to you.
So, what was your question again?
Now I forgot.
If we have to raise taxes.
Okay, the answer to that question.
had gone
he's
15,
already answered
20.
that.
The answer is no.
And you were going into what you did back in 2019.
Okay, you came on the scene.
What I was trying to say, when I first came on the scene, I talked about writing grants. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I said, do this. You do a freelance, you advertise all over the country. All right? What's it going to cost for advertisement for freelance grant writers? You had them come in. You have the grant writers come in, and they work on a percentage results only basis.
Okay.
They have nothing to lose. So if 100 people see the ad and they bring in money to the county, when the county gets the money, they get a percentage of what they brought in. If they bring nothing in, they get nothing. Okay, it's very simple.
That's interesting.
What I don't know, first of all, I would challenge you on that and say we want the best grant writers, and it's worth it to invest in good grant writers who know what they're doing, who are being advised. Here's where, because remember, grants have to fit in the wheelhouse.
Okay, exactly.
They have to fit. So
I understand what you're saying.
So the county comes to the grant writer and says, "Here's some opportunities. Let's get this. Let's make this work." It works to invest because they make, the grant comes in, it's $10 million, and what did the grant writer cost you?
Well, Bill, you said a lot, but I really didn't understand what you're trying to say. But here's the point.
What I'm saying is,
you didn't really say anything.
The investment is worth it if you have a solid grant writer that is in a cohesive.
That's irrelevant to my point.
You just want to give it to anybody.
No. That's not my point.
In addition,
that's not my point.
Okay.
May I make my point, please?
I'm trying to guess.
No, you're trying to throw me off. That's what you're
I'm
doing.
not trying to throw you off.
You think I'm stupid. Okay, now listen. Here's the
I
bottom
don't
line.
think you're stupid.
Here's the bottom line. What I'm trying to say, in addition to all the grant writers that follow certain protocol, that's fine.
Yes.
This is just an extra added bonus. Okay? So you advertise. It only costs you what it costs for the advertisement. You got it?
Yep.
And if they bring money in, then what they bring in, they get a percentage of that. If they don't bring any money into the county budget, they get nothing. Okay?
What do you do for a living currently?
I'm kind of retired. I was a school teacher.
You were a teacher. I'll bet you were a good teacher.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah,
I was also the director. I was also the director of programs on Municipal Housing Authority. I did that. So
you don't want to know who you remind me of.
Who?
You don't want to know.
Yeah, I want to know.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
You won't be offended?
I won't be offended.
Don't be offended.
I won't hit you.
Because he was good at what he did.
I won't hit you. Go ahead.
You remind me of Ray Seacon.
Well, I'm not that heavy.
You're not. That's your delivery. You're coming at me. You're shouting it out. All you got to say is
Ray Seacon weigh 500 pounds.
RCA Color TV. I got it here.
He's saying your delivery. I don't.
It's a 32-incher, and it's yours for just.
Are you gonna let me get my points across? You're gonna talk nonsense.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right.
Well, one thing though on the grants again. So I'm questioning.
We agreed on the grants. We agreed.
Okay, can we go on to the next thing? I want to talk about the Nexus Center, and I want to talk about the coroner's office.
No, you're dealing with him now.
Okay. Cool.
No, I just my question on the grant. So if you have a grant writer on staff, you're saying you'd have one on staff, or you'd send it out?
You guys are not. This is very simple concept.
Can I say it?
Let me slow down.
The grant writers that are currently employed by the county remain. This is in addition.
In addition, very good. You're not as dumb as you look, Bill.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so the bottom line is you hit a nail right on the head.
A for me.
Perfect. You get a triple A.
I love it.
But here's the problem that I see with that. If you put out an ad, let's say I replied to it, and I don't know, 10 people replied, right, for a grant writing position. Right. You have the grant writing position currently. So if the county is submitting grants to you tell me what, the state, the federal government?
No, to the county, just to the county budget. Nobody else. Advertise.
No, but you're talking about grants that would come to Oneida County, right?
Grants that would come
to Oneida County.
So if they put towards the Oneida County budget.
So if the Oneida County grant writer, my question is, and I don't know this, if the state has for beautifying neighborhoods, let's just say it's a grant for beautifying neighborhoods, right? And it's $10 million. If the grant writer for the county submits an application, then can I come in and say, well, I'm writing this grant also on behalf of Oneida County, and Cully's also going to.
You'd have to communicate. You'd have to
on
communicate.
behalf of Oneida County. Well, that's where I'm wondering where this. You're saying there would be this commission that comes in because you can't have 10 different people, or can you
competing for the same grant?
On behalf of Oneida
not the
County.
same grant, different grants. Then
Yeah.
it's all be all organized in a strategic.
Let's move past the grant. I like it.
Let's go to. You like it? You gave me a compliment.
There you go.
Well, I mean, I don't.
I still like this guy. I don't care. He's still my buddy.
But I get where you're going.
No, go ahead.
Completely.
Because I want to get to the. You got other
2
stuff.
minutes
You got
left
Nexus.
here.
You got Nexus, and
I got the coroner's office.
And the coroner's.
All
Yes,
right.
go ahead.
Let me say this. Here's the bad news.
Yes.
The bad news is we're out of time.
Are you serious?
I am. The good news is we're going to do news, and I'd like to invite you to come on the other side of the break.
Oh yeah, I'll wait. Absolutely.
And that doesn't happen to a lot of people. I'm going to tell you right now.
You know, I'm the champ. You know.
You are, yes. What did you teach when you taught?
Elementary.
Elementary. You might have scared the daylights out of those kids.
Guess what?
Holy
guess what? Guess what? You know what they used to tell me? These 4-year-old kids, they used to kick me. I used to buy them pizza every Friday, right?
Okay.
They throw pizza on my $500 suits, right? Okay. And they would say, and if you do anything else, we're going to get you in trouble. Okay, so they have no respect. They don't care who you are.
But I'll bet you had a ruly classroom, a classroom that was
but unless
well behaved.
unless they gave me the worst kids, which they did.
Right,
that's a whole story. Let's come on here and talk about that too.
Well,
for about an hour.
That's elementary school. They always give the big guy. The big male teacher, the one male teacher.
Exactly.
They give them all the tough kids.
Exactly. But nowadays, the kids don't respect it. They know. They got the law on their side. Mm-hmm. They know about the rules.
When I was in school, it was Mr. Haney. He was the guy. And when the kids misbehaved, he's like, screw it. Come on, we're going in the backfield. And he would hit golf balls. They'd go chase him down. It was awesome. And then if he got in real trouble, it was tape on the mouth.
You can't do that.
Can't do that anymore. All right, quick break. You're on the other side. Hold on.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
You wouldn't drive a car without suspension, so why mow without it? Ferris Commercial Mowers set the bar as the first and only manufacturer to integrate suspension into their mowers, allowing you to go faster, cut better, and not get beat up. Whether you're a professional cutter or a homeowner that wants to mow like a pro, Ferris is there with the commercial-grade mowers to keep you going strong. Visit the Caledonia family today at Clinton Tractor to set up a test drive and feel the Ferris difference.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
Drivers who switch to Progressive could save hundreds just by bundling home and auto insurance, because you can't go wrong saving money. Unless you spend it on a guitar, never learn to play it, but lie and say that you did. Then someone hands you a guitar at a party and asks you to play, so you decide to improvise this.
Well, don't you know that but that's not it. Dreams are fun and also good.
Yep, you can't go wrong bundling and saving money with Progressive. Well, depends on how you spend it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Sleep Number's new collections are designed to adapt to the changing nature of your life and your sleep needs. Whether it's the personalized comfort of the new Comfort Mode mattress, the targeted pressure relief of the Comfort Next mattress, or the Climate Collection that actively cools or warms to help you fall asleep and stay asleep.
And now, get early access to our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on the new Comfort Next Luxe for a limited time. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
For a number of reasons, Sarah's Flooring Outlet should be on the top of your list for any of your flooring needs. This is Bill Keeler. Reason number one, Sarah's has the area's largest inventory in stock and plenty for you to choose from. Reason number two, Sarah's offers the best in quality floor covering. Top name brands like Shaw, Mohawk, Coratec, Mannington, and there are so many others. Reason number three, Sarah's will meet or beat any locally advertised price. Reason number four, it's service. Decades of experience, starting with Sal and Sarah and everybody, the entire team. You get unbeatable service at Sarah's Flooring Outlet. And remember, you can get 6 months interest-free financing for qualified buyers in Sarah's Flooring Outlet. Unrivaled service and experience, all at an affordable price. Now you see why more people buy from the big store. Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and in sarahsflooringoutlet.com.
Not a great severe weather risk, but we will mention that chance of stronger storms, maybe severe storms, as we get into this afternoon. Probably really going to stay south of us, out across the southern tier and down into central Pennsylvania. But still, clouds are thickening up, a passing shower this morning. This afternoon, a few showers, thunder showers through this evening. 85. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms early, 65. Probably dipping to the 50s in the Adirondacks. Then we're set up for some great weather Tuesday and Wednesday. Partial sun Tuesday, 80. Sunshine Wednesday, 82. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stitchick, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
First News with Keeler in the Morning on WIBX.
Okay, in studio right now is John N. Marante. He's running for United County Legislator in the 18th District, which is basically East Utica. And your mic is live. All right, where did we leave off?
We left off with the grants.
The grants.
Okay. Now, the next point, this kind of relates this before I go on. The county has a rule. The county has a rule where if they get a grant, it's called an 80-20. So in other words, there's a program and the grant comes in. They'll say the state will say we'll only give you 80% of it. If you want the money, you have to finance 20%.
Yeah.
So if you used my idea for these freelance writers to come in, they generate extra money, they could offset that 20%. Okay. So that was one of my points.
Okay.
I'm going to go on to the next thing.
All right.
I want to talk about the coroner's office.
All right.
Okay. Now, in 2013,
which is now out of Syracuse, right?
Yeah, I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
Sorry. 2013, there was a big problem with the coroner's office. There were 4 coroners geographically located throughout the county. They were undertakers or funeral directors.
Yes.
They were paid like $25,000 part time. They weren't paid big money, but under their control, the budget went for the year to $500,000, $500,000.
Mm-hmm.
So a time came when they had to make a decision. So the Board of Legislators voted 13-16 to do away with the program.
Outsource it.
I mean, to get rid of the coroners.
Yeah.
They were elected, so you couldn't just fire them. So you had to get it. Do away with the position. So if I was on, I would have done the same thing.
So it went from coroner to medical examiner.
No, I'm getting to that. So
okay, sorry.
What happened was they made a deal with the Upstate Regional Autopsy Center in Onondaga County in Syracuse, where they transport the bodies. Now, I have a problem with that. When you transport a body, you have a continuity of evidence problem. If you break the chain of evidence, one little thing, okay, they're going to blow the hose. If they see somebody cut somebody's throat and they break the continuity of chain of evidence, the case could go out to drain. Okay, but that's not the thing. Also, last year, if you don't know if you know this, they found 800, let me rephrase it, 800 bodies were claimed by the county. All right. And the cost of the taxpayer was $200,000 transporting them to the Regional Autopsy Center in Syracuse. Okay, that's better than $500,000. But I say it could be done better. Okay, it's still too much money. Here's my idea with the coroner's office. What you do is you still keep the Regional Autopsy Center. You have to keep it. It was a good move. I'm not saying anything wrong with it.
Okay,
I would still keep it. But what you do is you hire doctors to come in on medical doctors, MDs. Doctors of medical science. You hire them on a per diem basis. They come in, do the autopsy. They hand in the paperwork. You pay them for that particular autopsy. No benefits, and that's it. Case closed. Okay. Now, the majority of the cases any doctor because they're random. They're routine. Okay. Now, if you get a real complicated case, and they're few and far between, then you transfer them to the regional autopsy.
Okay, then it goes to Syracuse.
So
just like a regular medical case.
Yeah,
If it's too complicated for our hospitals, we ship them to a bigger hospital.
Right, so you keep that, but here's where you're going to save money. You get them on a per diem basis. You don't hire them. You don't give them benefits. You don't give them any benefits. You give them one straight flat fee for doing the autopsy. That's how you handle the coroner's office. I'd like to go on to the next.
All right. Okay.
I don't have notes. I'm just checking these things off I want to say. Oh, by the way, let me say this. This year, the budget was $561.4 million, all right? It's up 2.9%. 2.9% of the figure I just counted, that's $16 million. The price of the budget went up the first time in 13 years, okay? So the taxpayers are responsible for $16 million more the first time in 13 years. So I say it's a time for a change, and I'm your vehicle of change. I'm the candidate to make sure there'll be no more raises in the budget. I'm the one who will do that.
How will you do that when you're one?
Tax increases. I'm going to get to that. I've been doing it.
When you're one vote.
Now he's being a wise guy, right?
I'm just saying, you're the one that's going to say no.
I happen to know. You want to make a little bet on this? I happen to know that I'll get more than one vote. So you're trying to throw me off.
No, he's saying you're one vote on the board. Now, he's not saying you're only going to get one vote.
I'm saying you're only going to get one vote.
That's true.
Yeah.
But you're interpreting that I just said only you're going to vote for you.
No, I know you're right.
I'm saying
I apologize.
On the legislature, you're one
vote. You're
vote.
100% right. But you still want somebody with my type of thinking, even though I'm one vote.
I understand.
Okay. You don't want people that are going to go out and raise taxes. You still want someone like me. So can I continue what I was about to say?
Yes, please.
Let's finish with the coroner's office.
Yeah.
Okay, now, let's go on to the Nexus Center. Okay, the Nexus Center is...
He's getting water.
Take some water.
Nexus Center is... Well, first of all, Nexus Center, as we know, brings in a lot of revenue to this area.
There's a huge tournament going on this weekend.
Yeah, it's like...
it's hockey on regular shoes.
Oh,
no skates.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Right, so,
there's also a basketball tournament going on there.
Yeah, so in other words, you both agree they bring in money and revenue to the area.
Yep.
So they bring it in through the bed tax. When people stay at hotels, they pay the bed tax.
Yep.
They go to restaurants, they pay sales tax. So that brings money to the area. However, it's on county land, but it's owned in collaboration by the Upper Mohawk Valley Memorial Auditorium. It's owned by the Utica University, and the county. Three of them are in partners. Now,
Are they really? I thought the Utica University was only a sponsor.
Well, let's put it this way. On the paperwork, they're all three listed.
Okay, I didn't know that.
They're part owners. He's right.
Okay.
So now, there's no state law in New York saying that one member, if they jointly own a property, there's no state law saying that one member of the jointly owned property can't charge another one rent. So what I'm saying is this. Get the auditorium and the college to give the county rent, because this is Oneida County. It's on county land. Now, here's how you could do it legally. Because there is no law prohibiting it from the state, you rewrite the agreement. Okay, you got to take the agreement off and you got to rewrite the agreement and say that those two entities are going to pay the county, the third entity, rent. They will bring money directly to the budget. That's another one of my ideas.
Okay.
Any questions?
Well, I will tell you right now, Utica College is in no position right now to add another bill.
Bill, these are just ideas I'm throwing out for the county, the taxpayers.
All right.
Hold on. Cully is whispering something in my ear about Utica University being a not-for-profit. But even beyond that, the board that oversees it, okay, that is a group appointed by the county. This is my understanding, and they're not pulling money. I don't think those members are paid, and they're not like an entity that's creating revenue off that. That is a county facility, and that board is appointed or put up there, I believe, by the county. It's not like they're pulling money from the county. Other than operational expenses for the facility.
Jeff, I know
it used to be the audit authority.
I know what you're saying.
Audit authority, yeah.
It may not even be feasible. I'm just saying you need a candidate who's looking to save the taxpayers' money, and you need somebody who's going to think outside the box like I'm doing. That's all I'm saying. These are ideas that the way I'm thinking maybe you can't do it, and maybe it wouldn't even work. But still, you got to start. Everything starts with an idea, okay?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
All right, so the next sentence covered. Now, United Indian Nation, they bring in $26 million to the county. They're flourishing up there. I was up there in the Boxing Hall of Fame weekend. They're flourishing up there. The same political machinery that got this $26 million, let's increase it, okay? Bring the county, say, $36 million. You can see how they're adding on hotels.
But this is I don't mean to throw a monkey wrench in this one, but that's a major...
And that's a state deal.
That's
the deal with the state.
But remember, that's multi-county. It is. And which county was it? Madison tried to go back and change the deal.
Agreement, yeah.
That'll take you 10 years to get it off the ground, but okay, it's an idea.
It's an idea. Okay, now the last thing is, I don't know if you guys know that. I mean, everybody knows this. The Department of Social Services, that's 90% of the budget. Okay, the state mandates them to pay their money, which they have to because it's Medicaid, it's food stamps, it's foster care,
and a lot of that responsibility has been pushed back onto the counties.
Exactly. And the counties' hands are tied, so they have to pay.
He's saying $261 million. 90% of it's
90% of it. I mean, you're talking
561 million.
Okay?
Yeah,
you're talking 90%, and the county could do nothing about it. So I understand that. Okay, so what you can do is. I came up with this. I don't know if I said it on this show. Even though it's a small thing, even they do something like this, you use community resources. You use welfare to work, okay, which they probably do. So in other words, if you're young and you're healthy and you're getting subsidies from the county, come in and do a job. So the county gets a job done without getting paid. Instead of staying home and drinking Muscatel and smoking Tijuana tobacco, go to work, okay?
Okay.
All right. So you could do that. Also, you could use parolees to work. People who are trying to, people are serving their debt to society. Have them, if they're nonviolent, first you check if they're violent.
I think that program already exists.
It exists, okay? It definitely exists. So,
but I think the welfare thing is more of a state issue where the idea is that you can collect if you're well and able and there's a work program and you have to, I do believe they're already supposed to be at least working on that.
Well, I'm saying another thing we can do,
but I'm not sure it's a county issue.
You could use high school students because they could do a job and they could get college credit. They could put it on their resume to get in colleges like that. And here's another thing which the county is doing. I commend the county for this. They're insourcing foster care. They used to outsource it. Now they're doing it in-house. Do a lot more in-house. They will save money. You don't pay a third person. You don't pay that type of fee. So like you're doing with foster care, do more in-house. All right.
So you would have a lot of ideas.
Okay. Now here's the thing. They were allocated a certain amount of money for their budget. Then they want almost $990,000, almost $1 million over for overtime in the jails. Okay, so I was really hard on that. But as it turns out, now they're advertising to fill the jails with correction officers.
Right.
You've got to do that. It's not even the issue of the overtime. Just say some mental case goes crazy in the jail, gets a pipe and cracks someone's skull wide open, right? There's going to be a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. A lawyer's going to come in and say, you didn't staff the jail. You put people at jeopardy. You're putting neglect. People are going to get hurt because you can't staff the jail properly, and the county gets a big lawsuit, and who's going to pay? The taxpayers. So that's it.
The problem,
I commend the sheriff's office and the county for staffing the jails, which I said you got to do.
And everything's understaffed right now.
Right.
That's why they've kind of waived you don't have to take a civil service exam anymore to be a county corrections officer. You just have to fill out essentially what was been described to me as a survey. They've bumped up the starting pay to $58,000 a year.
That, yes.
So
I should take it myself.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Start a boxing program in there.
You could have done that.
Yeah. And so, the county, because of the issues, the same reason that you're talking about this, the county has tried to address this because it is a concern.
You will be a handful if you get elected to the legislature.
Thank you. Is that a compliment, Bill?
I think it is. Yeah.
Coming from Bill, I got to take it as a compliment.
It's that's a compliment.
Thank you.
Can I ask one more thing? What's your situation? You're running as a Republican. What's your situation? What's going on at the county Republican committee?
I'm running as a Republican and conservative, and I got endorsed by the Republican committee and the Conservative Party. So I'm endorsed by that. So what was your
For
question,
both.
Jeff?
So, well, there's
You're gonna
obviously
you're going to love this question.
There's a power struggle going on with
all about it.
Yeah, you know all about it. Of
course.
So, what's your take?
Where
on
are
it?
you on it?
I have really no comment on it. Okay. I mean, if I mean,
So what you're saying
I'm a committee
is-
member also. You know that.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
As a committee member, so I mean, you got to be more specific what you're asking.
If you said you knew all about it, there's a power struggle.
Okay,
obviously.
if you can narrow it down,
I'll narrow it down.
Very specific.
I love a good narrow, tiny little nook that you can just be. So we're going to be like a pinpoint. Will you vote for Rozier as chairman?
Well, first of all, Bill, that question is totally inappropriate, number one.
You asked me.
Wait a minute. I'm going to answer your question.
Okay.
The question is totally inappropriate. You're trying to instigate like you always instigate.
I am not
You're known for instigating. I come on your show and you do nothing but instigate.
It is curiosity, man.
Okay, now I'm going to answer your question. Ken Rozier's a friend of mine. I have the utmost respect for the man, and I'm going to vote for him. Absolutely yes.
All right. Well.
But it's not my point. That question was totally out of line. You always got to instigate.
What's out of line about that?
I mean,
before you came on, did you catch this?
His father's a lawyer because it's against the law, and I knew that was coming. You think I didn't know that?
His father's a lawyer.
You want to see a note?
So what does that mean? It's imparted in him. It was genetically passed down to him.
What I'm saying,
I'm not offended at all. But let's argue like lawyers here.
It's out of line. You don't ask somebody who you. Okay, let me ask you this question. Let's put it into perspective.
Yeah.
We're in the line. We're voting in November. You're in front of me. I say, who you voting for? Is it any of my business who you're voting for when you're waiting in line to vote?
Well, you're on a radio show where we ask questions, and you're running for office.
Yeah, we're not standing in line at a
There
polling
still does
location.
not-
The other thing is,
does
before
not
you
imply-
came
I love
on
the
the
question.
air,
I love the
we-
question.
You like to instigate.
You didn't have to answer it. Okay.
Well, I'm him. Ken Rozier is a friend of mine. He's a,
No,
Are you-
He's a,
let me-
a
let me-
respectful
if you
man,
think it's
and
an
I think he's
inappropriate
great.
question, and
I
you
think
still
he's an
answered it,
excellent
I give
chairman.
I give you credit for that.
Let me ask you
segment
this.
before you
don't
came
like
on.
him. That's not my problem.
No, the segment.
I don't know.
The
He
segment,
doesn't like me.
The
So I
segment
can't get
before you.
involved in that. That's none of my business. I like Ken. I like you.
Let me
okay?
ask you this: Do you approve of money being spent at his own facilities?
I know nothing about it.
The $12,000 that was spent to get rid of a committee member that he didn't like in Rome.
Absolutely no knowledge of that.
No.
Number one, I have no knowledge of that.
All right.
Number two, it's none of my business. Okay.
And number three,
that question is totally out of line.
It is not out of line. But I will say this.
It's not out of line.
But I will say this.
You asked me about Ken Rozier's business things. I don't know anything about.
They're not his business. It's the committee's business.
None of my business. Ken Rozier's
You're a committee member, and it's none of your business. How the money's being spent is
Ken Rozier's an
none of your
honest man.
business.
He's my friend. I like him.
All right.
And yes, I will vote for him.
Let me say
anything
this.
he does is 100% illegal. Okay,
Is 100% what?
I believe it's nothing wrong what he's doing.
Gotcha.
You think
You're
it's-
trying to imply. Well,
No,
he's trying to
we
insinuate.
asked you if you were supporting. There's
Look, I'm not
obviously a fracture there in
I know
the
that.
in the
It was-
committee.
by
so
the way-
why is it inappropriate to ask which side of the cards that you fall on?
Ken Rozier.
There you go.
Let me say this.
Ken
We're not-
Rozier, and very proudly.
We're not. I got to tell you, I there was a point in my life where I almost had his hair, and I saw his picture on that flyer he put out.
What was
his hair? You know, like look what I did.
Now,
I just
wait a minute.
I just let it go.
Wait a minute. Is that appropriate?
I'm not done yet. How do you know? I kind of wish I'd have gone the way he went. I think I'd look better if I had his hair. I wouldn't want it to be red like that, like reddish yellow.
Do your own thing.
I have no comment.
I still
You don't
have.
take someone's personal.
Are you looking here?
Yeah,
Can you see?
I see your
still
head.
have
I can
hair.
see it. It looks like the moon.
I still
We're gonna
have
put it
hair,
into
though.
orbit.
If
I
you
got a
see it.
Muhammad Ali poem for you.
All right. What I would say,
we're going to bounce the satellite
what
off.
what I would say to you is, when I asked you the question,
Yes, sir.
I am fully aware of the difficulty and implications of that question, which is exactly
why I asked it. That's why I like this guy. I don't like you talking about I respect Rozier, and I don't want to get involved in it. I really don't. I like him. The man is a good guy.
Enough.
He's my friend.
I mean,
I have the utmost. He's doing a phenomenal job. So if you want to talk about him, I don't want to hear it.
I think
and it's none of my business.
I think I complimented his hair, And actually, I have hair envy.
Yeah. So in other words, I don't want to hear about hair. That's not my business.
And can I tell you, I like your hair too. Yours is real, and I like that.
Mine is real.
I know it
It's a
is.
little thin. And by the way, you got a camera.
Looks pretty.
Yeah,
It's
I
right
know.
on your head.
It's and the overhead
Next time
lights.
I come,
I'm
if I got-
thinning too.
Don't show my little bald head. I don't know if I got a bald
We're
head.
older than 30-year-old men. I mean, this
Yeah.
is like
62. I'm going to be 60.
75% of the male population essentially deals with this
Here's how it
above
goes.
above
Here's how it
age
goes.
30.
Okay.
10%, 20% of people in the 20s lose their hair. It's parallel with the decade. 30% of people at 30 start losing their hair. 40% of the people at 40 and 50. Okay, but when you hit a certain age, if there's no signs, you're never going to lose it.
Look at it. I'm still keeping this. Why?
Why are you telling me about your hair? I'm not interested in your hair, Bill.
You should be.
We're going to put you. We're going to.
You should be.
I'm going to call Leon Musk. We're going to put you in a rocket above the Earth, and we're going to bounce satellite.
You mean
that's
off
Elon's
your head as a
lesser
satellite?
known
That's
twin-
what we're going to do.
twin brother.
Leon uses firecrackers.
We're gonna put his head into orbit.
All right.
Next time I got a good
listen to
Muhammad
me.
Ali poem like last time.
Listen to me. It was a pleasure having you in.
This is good. Can you come back tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah. We're not
Monday.
here.
Well,
All
soon.
right, John.
Yeah, this
and
was fun.
Marante.
Okay.
I appreciate your honesty, and you backed.
I always will be honest with the taxpayers and things. Can I just say one closing thing?
I don't agree with everything, but I appreciate
Of course,
it.
you had that right.
Yeah.
Which says, okay, I'm just going to say this. I'm the candidate of change. I will keep the number one purpose of government. Number one is to keep people safe. Okay, everybody agree with that? The government has got to protect the people. So I will go along with law enforcement and the court systems to protect them. I'm only one vote, but I'll still vote with them. And the second thing I want to say, I'm the candidate of change, and I'm asking for your vote on the people, not you. I mean, people of the.
I can't vote for
on
you.
November 3rd. No.
I have Tom. Oh my God, he was a teacher. Yeah, I kind of think you'd be.
You got a question? I'll take a question.
I do have one. Ready? Who is your opponent?
Joe Fergal.
And let's see. You lost. You lost once. Are you?
Twice I lost.
Twice. Why do you think a third time? Why is the third time going to be different? That was a question from the app.
Because it's going to be different this time.
All right.
Because I probably would want, if I knew what I knew today, I would have won the first and second. I would have won the second. First
Okay.
time.
All right.
Because
Okay.
I knew nothing about politics. I was totally green or raw. I know nothing. Okay. Now I matured. I know what to do now.
All right.
All right. Plus that was rigged anyway, kind of.
Well, let's not go there.
Yeah, it was.
Off mic talker over here. All of a sudden, he's gotten the driving me nuts.
Exhausted.
Okay, I got a break.
Listen, I'll
Thank
get
you.
aside. Thank you. I enjoyed coming out,
Thank you.
Jeff. It's good seeing you.
Good to see you too, John.
This is Dan from Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, across from Texas Roadhouse. Get years of summer fun for you and your family with a new above-ground pool starting at just $89.99 installed. You can take advantage of our 0% in-house financing. We can have your new pool installed in about 10 days. Don't let the summer pass you by. If an in-ground pool is your dream, the experts at Acme will guide you through the process. There's nothing better than enjoying summer in your backyard with an in-ground pool. Don't miss out on our midsummer sale with above-ground pools starting at $89.99 installed within about 10 days with our in-house 0% financing. Or let the experts at Acme guide you through selecting a custom in-ground pool, choosing from steel or fiberglass options. That's Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford and our midsummer pool sale going on now. We do the work, you just enjoy.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Bakery owners, you will be loved today. Every pastry will be flaky. Your cake will make a child's day. Your delivery van won't get sideswiped by a distracted garbage truck driver. But if so, breathe easy, knowing you'll get back to business quickly with Progressive protecting your commercial auto. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
The summer sale is on at Mattress Express. Get a king for the price of a queen for the price of a full, and a full for the price of a twin. Ask how to get upgraded to an adjustable base for free. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
Do not trust what any CEO ever tells you. Do not trust US Mobile just because I'm telling you. My name is Ahmed Khattak and I'm the founder of US Mobile. US Mobile invented this technology that lets you share data across any of the 3 networks in America. There's more coverage than any single carrier in America because we give you all 3 of them and let you switch between them. anytime. Our cheapest plans start as low as $5. They go up to $44, but that $44 plan gives you unlimited priority data in America and keeps you connected in more than 160 countries abroad. US Mobile offers a 30-day free trial. US Mobile has no contracts. We don't lock you down. And over 1 million customers seem to like it. We're a top-rated carrier by Consumer Reports. US Mobile is Wirecutter's top cell phone plan. All I'm asking for anyone who's listening to this is just Google US Mobile. Just go to US Mobile subreddit. Just search for US Mobile and make a decision for yourself. If you're ready, visit usmobile.com.
Consumer Reports does not endorse products or services.
It's about how you feel when you walk through the doors and when you leave. That's Steep Pawnee Mazda on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. It's the Ricky Z way, right? It's the Steep Pawnee way. But beyond that, it's every single employee. They treat you with the respect, and they understand you're in there for a new vehicle or you're in there for service. It's all about the treatment. This is Bill Keeler. And right now at Steep Pawnee Mazda, save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 0.9% APR financing on a new 2026 Mazda CX-50 with 1.9% on CX-50 hybrids, 0.9% on the new 2026 Mazda CX-70 and CX-90, and 0% on PHEV models. See the dealership for details. As Rick says, come on in, let's look at the deals. Let's take care of you. How about 2.9% on a new 2026 Mazda CX-30 or CX-5, where it's always easy to do business? Steep Pawnee Mazda.
First News with Keeler in the Morning on WIBX.
One more thing. Let me bring in, both Tim and I are on the Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Board, and the goal is to keep our neighborhoods safe. And if you say something, if you see something, say something, and you can do it anonymously and maybe end up with a cash reward when it's all said and done. We do each week our Wanted Person of the Week. And investigator Sahid Karsik from the United County Sheriff's Office on the line right now with this week's Wanted Person of the Week. Sahid, good morning.
Bill, good morning. I just want to say I'm joined by my partner, investigator Mark Facilio as well. Yes, I agree. 100% anonymous. There's a cash reward. It's a great, valuable tool for us in law enforcement.
Okay, so tell us about this week's Wanted Person.
So this week, we have an individual by the name of John Becker. He's a white male. He's 32 years of age. He's 6 foot, weighs approximately 155 pounds. He has brown hair and brown eyes. He currently has 2 bench warrants out of an Oneida County drug court. The first one being for a misdemeanor charge of criminal mischief fourth, and the second being a misdemeanor charge of criminal possession of a weapon fourth. The reason why these warrants are issued is he's failed to comply with the terms and conditions of the drug court.
Usually that's not showing, right?
Yeah, it's usually not showing, or there's somebody that, for example, has gone to a rehab and absconded, or simply just somebody because somebody just absconded from the program completely.
Yeah, okay. We have on our website a photo and details, normally or last known to be living in the Westmoreland area, right?
Yeah, that's correct. But he also has ties to the Utica, New York, and New York area as well.
Okay. All right. The full story's up on our website, as always. Investigator, we appreciate what you guys do.
Thank you, Bill. We appreciate you. Thank
I
you.
should say what you guys and ladies do.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Investigator Sahid Karsik.
At Mohawk Valley Health System, nursing is more than a career. It's a calling.
I just love the family environment. Everyone's so helpful, so encouraging. Everyone here is amazing.
Whether you're starting your journey or ready to grow, MVHS offers competitive pay, career development, and a place to belong.
Everybody wants you to succeed, and I feel like the patients and families also feel that as well. My team helps me grow here.
Mohawk Valley Health System. Change lives, starting with yours. At Mohawk Valley Health System, we're investing in nurses like never before.
Working at the Wynn Hospital in the OR has given me the opportunity to not only enhance my critical thinking skills, but also my autonomy.
With competitive new rates, career development programs, and a culture built on support.
I love the team that I work with on the 7th floor.
Here at the Wynn Hospital, I'm not just part of a team, I'm part of a family.
You'll grow your nursing career with great pay, a supportive team, and real opportunities.
Here at the Wynn Hospital, I can find my niche and grow.
Change lives, starting with yours.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Little Falls Lumber has everything you need for home improvement season. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors. Available in 12-foot lengths and affordable solutions for sheds, garages, and roof repairs. Tired of digging through warped boards at the big box stores? At Little Falls Lumber, you'll find only premium grade lumber, hand-selected for quality. They also carry roofing, siding, windows, doors, and much more. Visit Little Falls Lumber in Little Falls in Syracuse. Call 315-823-2470 or go to littlefallslumber.com.
Get rates as low as 3.74% annual percentage rate during Sunmark Credit Union's auto loan sale. Visit sunmark.org/sale. Restrictions apply. Call 866-SUNMARK for details. Federally insured by NCUA.
Fox on Games, Summer of Gaming.
Arcades. Before everyone had a console in their living room, you had to bring your quarters to the local arcade. In the late 70s, early 80s, and even into the 90s, the video game arcade was the epicenter of pop culture.
Hey bro, I'm gonna get some quarters. I'll be back, alright? Cool.
Kids flocked to pizzerias and bowling alleys just to get their initials on the high score screen, like John Connor in Terminator 2.
John, not now, not now. Hey, man, there's this cop scoping for you. Check it out. Split, man, just go.
According to the Entertainment Software Association, arcade revenues surpassed both pop music and movie box office tickets sales combined in 1981.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Plex News.
She wants to go from appointed senator to elected senator. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
I want to, focus on the struggles of the South Carolina families because, like them, I feel those same struggles.
Senator Darlene Graham is one of 10 Republicans running in tomorrow's special primary to replace her late brother Lindsey Graham as